Welcome to the Old World Fanatics, your Warhammer Fantasy podcast to quench your hobby thirst for all things the old world. And I'm back. I'm your host, Gommo, and I'm joined by Andrew and Josh tonight. And we almost didn't hit record there. Thanks, Josh. How's everyone going?
All right, guys. So just a wasted hour and a half.
Oh, that was lucky.
At least.
Almost got through that intro without the red button going. So still getting used to the new one here, but it seemed to work last week. So hopefully... all good. Yeah, sorry. We're also a day late because that was my fault. I went away just for a quick getaway last night. So we couldn't record, but we're back today, day late. So still doing our weekly ramblings. So yeah. Do you guys get anything up to interesting with your extra day before the podcast or not much?
I went fishing.
Oh, did you?
Good to know. Oh dear. It's a bit of extra painting, I guess, but an extra 24 hours doesn't make a huge difference.
It's all pretty good. We've moved it between Monday and Tuesday enough that probably doesn't really make a difference. So
it used to be Tuesday night every for about 2 months, wasn't it? Back in the old almanac days.
The almanacs.
Yeah. And then I think but didn't you say Monday worked better for you, Josh? Is that right? Because you have Tuesday off. Is that what you said? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks for letting me change the date on you guys. So anyway, we'll get into the episode. I think we'll smash through the Patreon intros in a minute. But what are we going to chat about today? I know Andrew and I got up to a battle report, which... the live stream's up on YouTube, but we'll release a sort of cut down one tomorrow, I think, on YouTube. So probably won't. We'll just chat through some of the interesting things that happen in that, but won't do it turn by turn. And I think we're going to cover some responses to our How to Slay Dragon YouTube video because there's a couple of extra little cool comments. People did respond to that, which was cool. Yeah. And then we'll finish our magic item. The big blue book magic item review, so to speak, I think. Cool. So, and then just hobby, I think so it ends up being pretty full episode like it always is. Jump into the patrons then, you reckon, guys?
Yeah, I reckon.
We did get one extra this week, I think.
Nice.
Or maybe two.
Well, I took myself out of it.
Oh.
Right.
So you can now just count them up.
Disappointing.
Right. There's no rounding error anymore. Okay, fair enough. Cool.
That's it. I've ended my subscription.
Okay. They were crap. I've unsubscribed. Well, thanks, guys. Obviously, the patrons help us. I guess it's getting close to paying for, at least the cost of this recording and all that sort of stuff, which is really appreciated. For those who aren't a member, I think there's there used to be a link on the screen, but now that's changed. We're in a different program here. You can just go to patreon.com, and I think it's at Old World Fanatics. It's just $2. Just as I said, just goes a little way to cost of running the show. We do have a private. I wouldn't say we've got a Discord, the Australian Discord server for Warhammer, but one of the channels in there is private, so just has our banter from all the patrons in there, shares pictures of our hobby and stuff like that. So if you want to be involved with that, obviously we would always appreciate it. But the guys who are currently supporting us, we've got Matt. He's our new member. Matt joined the other day, but otherwise Daniel. Thanks, Daniel. Jonathan, Gilthos, Cameron, Elliot. What was that?
Daniel's my cousin. Just
so he's our second one.
Thanks, Josh's cousin.
I can't remember. I think he was the new one from last week, maybe. Yeah. So there you go.
Right.
Connection.
Hilarious.
That's funny. No one's mum's turned up yet, so I think my mum does watch the YouTube channel now. She asked me the other day about it. So I went, "Are you serious?" But anyway, so Cameron, Elliot, Chris, Harrison, Gilthos, Julian, Diesel, Cameron, Richard, William, Robert, and this is the cool one, Bitty Titty Pimpleson. So he's changing every...
It is every week. It changes every week.
We checked that today. Andrew, Bobby Gherkin, Gumwitch, Sean, Todd, and Chapstick. So thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Really helping. Yeah.
Guys, yeah.
Awesome.
Helps a lot.
Yeah, that's really good. Cool. Okay, well, let's get on to what have we got? Some news. I pulled up some news. I'm going to
Yeah,
if I can
Gommo.
find the bloody controller here to bring up the news. Where are we? Let's stop sharing that one. I'm just going to bring up I guess the latest Warhammer community article that went out. I think it was today.
Oh yeah.
If I remember, which one is it? Well, I'll do this one, but for those watching at home, can you guys see this? Yes, it's come up.
Yeah.
So the new AOS release, though, I guess it's not Old World specifically, but I mean the joke is all. I've seen it posted a few times now. That look, new Marauders for Old World, and it's like all their all the Chaos ranges, Slaves to Darkness range is awesome. So this one, I mean, could try maybe zoom that in for people who are on YouTube. Yeah, I'm not sure. Are these all fully mint? None of these were released before, were they? I mean, I don't know about AOS. So they're all new. Yeah, cool.
I've never heard of this faction.
Right. See, I know there was some
Dark Oath or whatever.
Is it Warband? No, what's it called? Warcry. I think some of them were in Warcry, but I don't know if the exact miniatures were. So someone who knows more about this stuff can probably comment. But to me, I've never seen them, especially the horse ones, which are probably the ones you're going to use. I mean, not so much him, maybe. But they're just.
They'd be
big,
I don't know
what the hell that is.
Yeah.
You can almost use that in a miniature. Is that? I don't know. That's weird. But I just wanted to skim more to the actual figures. Yeah, like the.
I admit, I feel a bit jealous about a whole faction of newly sculpted minis.
Yeah,
as opposed to. One
I mean, this is the thing. Like, we talked a little bit about the whole Kislev Cathay
models.
Thing, but yeah, if they released a whole new plastic range, you know it's going to. I mean, you cannot say it's not bad quality, eh? Like,
nah.
I mean, you can't say it's not good quality. Yeah.
Every second army you'd play would be Kislev.
Yeah.
Everyone would be taking them.
So yeah, I mean, great Marauder proxies, and especially Marauder Horsemen. I mean, these.
Yeah, they're good.
Awesome. I'm not sure. Do you guys know if the Marauder Horsemen are on 30s or 60s, or they're on?
I would think so.
So yeah, cool.
Because they're not. It's only. Is it only fast cap usually that are the smaller ones?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. If
and even then it's. Even then, like the elves 30 by 60s, though. Oh, no, they're 30 by 60s. Yeah, they are. I've got it here.
They are?
The Marauders. Yeah.
Well, they'll fit. I think they'd fit pretty good. They look awesome. I mean, I was thinking, like, I mean, again, I'm not doing this anytime soon, but I did think at some point I'd do a Chaos one, like we said last week. I was wondering, the more that comes out in these different sort of ranges, you could almost do, like, even use these guys as, where are they? Like this guy as a Chaos Warrior, you know what I mean? Like, you didn't have to have 100%. The whole big army. You could just, like armor, you could just go, well, I'm just proxying him. And it's more of a Marauder-based Chaos.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Even though, you're doing Chaos Warriors for some of these guys, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You potentially
especially with that,
if you really want to use more.
Yeah, if you took the one without his, like, naked head, the one where it's got, like, the mask or whatever.
Yeah,
like that looks pretty...
Oh, this one, yeah.
That's pretty kick-ass. Like,
yeah. Or if you just ran it as a character, you know, like, it doesn't matter if it's bigger.
Yeah, true.
Totally work.
I saw a funny comment today about this girl here, the Battle Standard Bearer, just saying, are they the heads of her ex-husbands or something like that? But no, they look so good, and it's funny. Like I think Val was mentioning this on Squarebase last week or something, that the three new areas they've really spent. You know, there's big paragraphs in the new rulebook about, was it Norse, obviously Kislev and Cathay, and so it'd be interesting at some point if you did get a Norse army, because I mean this is what you'd probably use as well. Like that, I'm guessing it's all very similar. But yeah, it's good. I mean, again, not the old world as such, but I mean, geez.
Yeah,
it's
and
one of the
it's still
factions
like
that's direct proxyable.
It's definitely AOS style, though. That's the thing. Like, I guess that's a hard thing to know sometimes is what style you're trying to follow if you're taking these minis. If they were to do a Kislev or a Norse type army for the old world, would it look similar to this, or would they try to follow the old Hammer sort of aesthetic?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's hard to predict.
I guess you got a little bit of indication, like from the foot knights in Britannia, that it's sort of heralding the old stuff a bit, but it is sort of going a different way.
Yeah.
So
it is different, isn't it? Yeah. I
And
think they tried to pay homage to the old stuff, but inevitable.
Mr. Hands, obviously bringing back the old miniatures, but yeah, definitely, as Gommo was saying, like even with the not the damsel, the handmaiden on the unicorn, like that.
On the unicorn, yeah.
Even just the scale of it, like it's just it's a scale, and it's also I don't know, it's just the features of the face. It's like the faces are changing as well. Like they're just
Yeah, it is different. Yeah. Do you think she'd be the same scale as these Marauders? 1-1, or do you think she'd be a bit smaller?
Oh,
it's hard to tell, isn't it?
She looked
I
big.
suspect they might be quite close. Yeah.
Well, we don't know because she's not been released yet. Hey.
No, we haven't seen her. No, we're speculating.
Yeah. So it's funny because we were thinking last week when the other pre-orders went out, I was like, it's all the waves out yet, but they're not. Like pretty sure the casket's not out. But you guys did get the trebuchet. I know this is slightly venturing off different news here, but the Treb did come out on pre-order, even though it wasn't in that article last week. And
right.
But yes, and then the unicorn's not out yet. So there is still a few dregs still coming just for the first two armies out, and they haven't even got,
It's disappointing because I was hoping to see more of the orcs coming out. It seems like maybe this will be a bit of a longer wait than maybe what we're hoping for.
The only thing I do hope, and maybe this, do you guys think they're going to do two armies? Like, they've had the two armies now. Because the whole rumor all the time was two armies. I know it's just a rumor, but they're like, they'll do them in twos because, the mirror image on the logo. I mean, who knows if that's even anything. But then obviously they only previewed the orcs. But I mean, that doesn't really mean anything, does it? Because they previewed the whole Brett army and they didn't really talk about Tomb Kings at all, even though we did know Tomb Kings were coming because we had seen one. So are you expecting that it will be a double launch?
Not necessarily. I don't know. I feel like they had to do a double launch to have two factions out so that people could easily play against each other with armies that were commercially available.
Yeah.
So I feel like they don't necessarily have to have that urgency anymore. I mean, they could surprise us though. They could say, you need the Aussie coming out. And also,
because
surprise, we got dwarves coming out or something.
I
mean, there was that leak about the dice, the dwarven dice.
Yes. No, true. So we have actually seen sort of dwarves, not really, but I'd sort of hope. I hope they do. I hope there's
me too.
It
absolutely.
just gets through stuff quicker and then gets us to
if they go down to
stuff.
If they go down to one every 2 or 3 months, it's a real trickle, isn't it?
Yeah. So hopefully, we'll see. We have no idea about that. I guess the other thing, I've got this screen up. Does this work? Yeah. I will just jump. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about with Marauders?
No.
How do you even say it? What is it? Dark.
Okay. Are those tattoos? Are they like transfers? Do you think? What's going on there? Are they? They wouldn't be text. Yeah, they wouldn't be textured on there, would they?
I reckon they're just painted.
Yeah, they're just painted.
Freehand.
It's just like that.
They're pretty simple, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't know.
Cool.
Yeah. The other thing is just conversions with these guys as well. Like, there's probably bits. You get bits of these guys, mix them into your other stuff potentially if the scale's not too. I mean, the scale's going to be different, but.
Yeah,
you might be able to mix this stuff with the Chaos Warriors or something, and it might. Who knows?
Especially the standards, the banners. Really good.
And the horses, they're not. You get that mono pose horse, like they're just all. Yeah. Whereas you get those dynamic horses, they look really, really good. I don't know how they'd rank up, but they look good.
I've seen people rank the Cities of Sigmar ones, and they rank fine, I think, on 30 by 60s. So I'm hoping, well, I say they're probably very tight still, but
yeah.
Cool. Actually, well, I just got the window up though. I did. So one of the podcasts I listen to, which is fairly new, at least for Old World, they've got other podcasts, is Beards, Ears, and Skulls, and their latest episode 8 that just came out, March 4, yesterday. They had Duncan Rhodes on, so and I'm trying to think, did I even finish the whole episode? I think I did. But I've bookmarked in the show notes a particular part to listen to, I think it's from 46th minute or something. Because just some interesting. Not that he doesn't know anything because obviously he hasn't worked at Games Workshop for 4 years. And for those, I'm guessing people know who Duncan Rhodes is. If not, he was obviously a G-Dub painter on Warhammer TV, and he's got the Two Thin Coat paint range out and stuff like that. But he was talking about that because he's a big Bretonian fan. He got into it 5th edition, that sort of stuff, and loves that. So when they were doing the next 8th edition army book, which was supposed to be Bretonia, they dragged him in as sort of the not an expert, but just sort of like a fanboy type thing internally, just to sort of okay, well, give us a review of how do you think they should be and all that sort of stuff. And he said they showed all these upcoming releases that they were working on, which he said are not out. They have not been released, and they're slightly different. They have changed the Bretonian aesthetics a little bit from where they were going. But he said, the plan there was release the Bretonians 8th edition.
I knew they were making an 8th edition book. I knew it. There were so many leaks about that. Can't believe it.
And obviously changed the tune and End Times came. So that's quite funny. But worth listening to. And then also in that he does link to Heresy Lab, which one of the sculptors or the sculptor or whatever is an ex-G-Dub sculptor who was working on those Bretonians, and he said some of the ones that they've released in this Heresy Lab release thing is very similar to what he remembers seeing that G-Dub were doing internally. So it's kind of funny.
Not IP similar, but
similar. So pretty interesting. It's always funny when you see behind the curtain a little bit, even though he keeps obviously caveats that he has no inside knowledge, and this is years ago. But it's just to see. So I don't know if it's probably bittersweet, Josh, there, but anyway, you've almost got a
absolutely so bittersweet. What could have been, Gommo? What could have been if they'd stayed the course with a bed?
I don't know.
I'm really interested to see what they were
some
cooking
of this,
up. Actually,
it'd be nice to see.
It's so interesting to see what it was.
Stuff, I don't know.
I'm not unhappy with what we've got. I just would have been just to see what the differences were, what direction they were going in.
Yeah, he's talking about the helmet. I didn't really go and look at because if you, it's probably not worth bringing up here because if you're listening to the audio, you can't see what we're looking at anyway. But he was talking about the helmet designs and stuff are a bit different, whereas this Heresy Lab one, Flaming, what is it, Order of the Flaming Lists or something, is similar. So.
Very intrigued by this. I'm going to look into that.
I only clicked on it, then saw the peasants and stuff, and they look pretty cool. They've got some good minis there, but I think they're all print, they're not STLs. I don't think. I haven't really.
They're all physical.
To this. Are they? I think maybe. I don't know. I didn't really spend too much time, but actually, just slightly on this, and I didn't bring this up beforehand, guys. Did you guys? We did have pre-order, so Josh, you got the guy, didn't you? You got the Brett Lord.
Yep. I got the Brett Lord, Mr. Flippy. With a little helper carrying his helmet along. That's all I got. I just got him.
So I ended up getting him too.
Because you got him as well, didn't you?
Yeah. What I did is I've clicked the Green Knight. Well, I wasn't going. I got the Green Knight, and then I got that.
Your mouse slipped and you clicked on the Lord as well.
Times 3.
It'd just be funny to paint him up because I think, like you said, he's really controversial. So I might as well get him. It's more of a classic figure than anything. But I did get you obviously that other what was it called? The other set, not Cetra. What's it called? I can't remember his name now. The Epitaph? No, whatever. The
Heraldy guy?
the heraldy type guy. Yeah, I can't remember what his name is.
With the big scroll.
Yeah, the big scroll guy. So got him, and then just ended up getting 2 more. So it's weird because you end up having to sort of order, because a lot of this stuff's straight out of the UK. You sort of have to get it through GW, and then obviously I'll get it Dragon and stuff elsewhere. But that's all cool.
If you can't get the Lord again, like the Flappy guy, like imagine if it just say like he goes in a production or something, or they just drop him, he doesn't sell well, and then like in 8-10 years or something, he's like worth like an absolute mint because you just can't get him anymore.
It's a good chance. That many people don't like
laughing about it. Just buying it as a joke because it's like, oh, I might as well have fun. It'll be funny.
It is weird, isn't it? Because like, like my mates, whose name's Andrew as well, not this Andrew, the guy that I used to play in fantasy, and I've got all these old dwarf stuff, which we didn't have a lot because we're just kids, but I mean, he's got a lot of, when I say a lot, it's probably, I don't know, there might be 50 dwarf, the old, pewter ones, the old flame cannon, Gotrek from Felix, a bunch of all the, like we never had blocks of 20 or 30 dwarves, so he might have like 8 iron breakers, 8 hammerers, that sort of stuff. The old Thorgrim, all this sort of stuff, and it's funny, like we probably spent all this pocket money, and then now if I added it all up, they'd be worth, they'd be 10 times what we would have spent.
Yeah.
But I mean, inflation might have killed that a bit, but it's funny.
Yeah. No, they would. 100%.
Cool. Anyway, does someone want to run through, I keep talking here, tournaments? We're going to just add a quick section in. I've written them down here. This is for the Australian audience, just for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So
just
if
for
you
the
are
old
not
world
Australia,
as well, right?
Yes. Old world Australia.
Because I am going to a 6-head tournament in a couple of weeks, by the way.
Oh, yes, that's right. I didn't
the old uprising.
Uprising.
It's an old world podcast now, isn't it? Apart from when I'm running the slow grow and going to 6, like
we don't say it's old world as in Warhammer, the old world, do we? It's like
we're just fanatics about it, I guess.
Yeah, that's just anything in the old world. Doesn't matter what version.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's a good point. What are we running? So the first set on the same day, the 23rd of March. When is that? So that'll be a few weeks away. What? Oh, not even like just under 2 weeks. On the Saturday, the following Saturday in Queensland, it's Return of the King, and then Dawn of War in Canberra. Which is 1250 points in Dawn of War, which I feel like is a decent size, for a first sort of event. I feel like that's a good choice, totally. And I think it'll give people a good feeling of how the game runs without it being just all monsters all the time. Hopefully not going to see many dragons running around.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And then in South Australia, I think the next day, the 24th, of a Sunday, there's Rise of Legend. And then in April, again in Canberra, there's the Anzac Cup, which I think is a bit of a bigger tournament.
Yeah, so is that one usually? Yeah, there's 40k and all that sort of stuff, but they have an old world one, I guess. Is that one?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, I think it's a bigger.
Defense Force Academy. Yeah.
Yes, that's the one. Yeah. Anzac. Yeah.
Right. Makes sense. Yeah, and then on the 20th of April in New South Wales, where is it?
That's the Easter long weekend.
Was that Easter?
I think so. Hang on. Sorry, no, that one. No, that's not. Sorry, that is. I can't go to that because I'm going up to Queensland. So it must be the middle school holidays in Australia.
That's the one
That's what it is. Yeah.
Bartering with the other half to try and get down there. So I should hopefully be able to represent at Shoutout.
Because that's a 2-dayer, isn't it?
Yeah, it's only just come out. Yeah, so
2-dayer.
So like the
pack thing event.
I can't even think. Yeah, the pack. It's only just basically come out. So they've been advertising it for a while, but yeah. So I'm keen to get my name down, but then obviously your name's not usually down until you pay, and I think that only just came out yesterday.
I saw the event on Facebook pop up, which is under the Australian, tournament Facebook group, whatever it's called.
Yeah. So that should be pretty big, I reckon. Especially being in New South Wales, you probably have quite a few guys from ACT, Victoria, maybe a couple coming from Brisbane for that.
Yeah, I'd definitely go if I was here, but yeah, we're going up to Queensland, so on the other direction. Yeah.
Are you going to stay in Sydney overnight there, or are you going to?
Yeah, what's down near like Cronulla sort of region.
Yeah.
So I could stay.
Like, is it in the same place they do Moab, or is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Oh, well, that's cool.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it'd be good.
Yeah, that sounds fun. And then Queensland, 27th of April, Brutal Deluxe.
Yep.
Yeah, Queensland's got a few. They're smashing it.
Yeah, there's some old OGs coming out to run some of these, I believe. So, that I'm going to try because it's really frustrating. It's not really frustrating. It's family. It's fine. The 23rd one, I was like, oh, surely I can get down to ACT one or something, but that's my daughter's birthday, so I can't do that. And then we're not here for the New South Wales one here. So I'm starting to think, because I would like to get to one over the next couple of months. There is another ACT one definitely in like late June, late July, something like that. Maybe late June. And I thought that one I could do because like ACT is not that far really to do a drive. But then if I can't do any of them, I might try to do a Queensland one, which is a flight, but my brother-in-law lives up there. So I'd really like to try and get to one in the next couple of months, just because, it's a great way to learn. Hey, we just lost Josh. Don't know what happened there. But anyway, cool. That's a couple of tournaments over the next couple of months coming up for Australia, but I'm assuming if you're listening to this overseas, there's a bunch that, obviously is now running around the world, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
He's just coming back on. I'll just add him back in. Every time we have a dropout like that, we end up always makes the audio one fun to mix. But anyway, is that just the internet dropout or?
Yeah, it's just I just dropped the. Yeah, that's okay.
No, well, good. Well, let's smash into some hobby time quickly before we jump onto the main topics.
Yep. Do you want me to go?
Yeah.
I've got nothing on here, but I've actually done stuff. So as you know, I've been continuing with my rebasing of the Vamp Army. So I got a bunch of bases made up locally. Probably about 50 infantry deep into that. That's really about it. I've just been sort of like stripping some models off their previous bases. And then also on top of that, because spoiler alert, we'll be talking about this later, is obviously myself and Gommo are going to be having another battle coming up. Might be focusing around some things that we've been talking about recently. And for that, I'll be taking my little guys, the dwarves. And a part of that, I didn't have time to be rebasing 2 armies, even though I want to do my dwarves at some point. So basically, I've gone out and I've bought the sabos or the extensions, basically, from Hey Jake. I'll just grab them actually.
Okay. Are they like the ones I got from Miniature Horde? Is that what you mean? Like the adapters?
Yeah. The adapters.
Yeah. Cool.
So basically, they slot in. They're actually quite cheap. Like, I think I got 150.
Oh, these are the ones that are individual bases.
Yeah. So it's an individual base.
Yes.
So it's going to be a little bit hard to see, but you can see.
Yeah.
So there's obviously like a
it's like an upside down base almost.
Yeah, and it just sits in there. So yeah, like $50 for 150 odd, whatever they were.
Are they easy to magnetize that, or like how can you magnetize that one onto your magnetic?
I wasn't
trays?
Gonna bother,
We just wouldn't.
Personally.
No, okay, yeah, just purely
because it's just a temporary, temporary thing for me. I didn't want to get too.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I didn't want to get too carried away, and then I've got like my high elves and things and my dwarves, the magnets aren't all polarized in the right direction because I put them on a metal base, so they're just polarized whatever way. So if I try to stuff around magnetizing these, it's just a lot of work. So yeah, basically I've done that, and I've started doing some war machines and some other bits and pieces which don't fit the 20 mils. I won't give Gommo too much of a heads up on exactly what those are, but yeah, the stuff that's not on a 20 mil base has been getting changed in preparations for the battle that's coming up.
Cool.
Should we be talking about later?
Love it.
And that's been my hobby.
Yeah, cool. Well, I did a similar thing. I guess I might jump into mine, and then Josh, you can finish off with the hobby time. I have one picture I'll bring up, which is just what I started rebasing as well. So I finally just
now I know what you're bringing.
Oh no, it's not. It's just I went on a bit of a craze of going, well, if there's something half painted, I might as well put it on a base now.
Yeah.
Because I had like my the other second Screaming Skull catapult was already primed, but it was on that old MDF round base that I had. So like I just went through and went, well, might as well just do that. And those two scorpions already had it's a bad picture actually, just the lighting. Why is it? It doesn't look bad on my screen, but it looks bad on the video there. I don't know. They're the ones that Josh printed it off and only made one of them for the CanCon tournament because I was running late. So I've just done the other two now, so that way they at least will look the same. But yeah, it wasn't too bad. Like, and I know, like, I haven't done it the most optimal. Like, it would have been better to do what you did technically from a, like do all the bases and just spray them and paint them and then glue everything on. But I'm the type of person I just don't like gluing. Maybe I just don't use good super glue, which I know I don't, like gluing stuff onto a painted base because I just feel like it comes back off again. So I actually don't. I'm the type of person who, I think there's two people in hobby, either flock around the feet and paint it, or people do the base and stick it on top. Well, I'm the former. So, and then I also did think, I don't know why. It's a
hard balance though, isn't it? Because if you put the flock on too deeply, it looks like the whole mini's sinking into the base.
Yeah. So it's just, like, I know when I'm doing it, like, it's not the most optimal, but at the same time, I thought, if something happens that I can't get this done, then they're now on the right bases, even if I painted them. So that was my other reasoning. At least they're done now. And they're more done than this picture anyway, because I actually have gone through and I should have the arches done tomorrow, and then I'll just get into the Tomb Guard.
Is that Screaming Skull? Sorry, is that Screaming Skull on a... Is that a 50 by 100?
I think they've...
It looks like a really big base.
Yeah, I think it's now I can't remember. It was I had to buy a couple of whatever they were. They were a bit different. Is it 60 by 100 maybe? I can't remember.
Oh, okay.
I'd have to, might be totally wrong there. I just can't remember.
Because the Scorpions
it is longer.
They're
50. Yeah, they're the 75 by 50s or whichever how you do it. Yeah,
but that Screaming Skull looks heaps bigger. Yeah.
Yeah, it's longer. I think it might be a 60. It's either a 50 by 100 or a 60 by 100. I can't remember. Actually, it might be a 50, and I think maybe the Necrosphinx changed to a 60 by 100. One of them was different to what they used to be. I just can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
But, the new Herald is in there and my other Necromancers, so I'll try and paint them up at some point as well. And did a few more Tomb Guard just to pad that numbers out if I end up using them all. Yeah, so that's good. At least I feel like almost all my it's not all of it, but close to all my Tomb Kings are at least getting to the point where they're on the right bases and they just need painting, which is good, getting there anyway. I shouldn't say that, except for obviously all the core stuff that came in the big box. I'm not putting all that together because I don't need it yet. So,
are you gonna hang on to that, or are you gonna?
I'm gonna put some more horses together. Like, I wouldn't mind having more skeleton horse archers if I need, as well as like some spearmen. I want to have some big blocks. I would like to do an army one day, try it out of like
just infantry sort
of. Just a lot of skeletons. Just to because we'll probably talk about it a bit. Like, just I don't know, one of these things potentially to combat killy things is just having shit that doesn't die, and if it does die, it can come back. Who cares? Whereas Tomb Guard do that, but they're also more expensive, so you can't get as many. So, I don't know. But anyway. So apart from that, we did the battle, which we can start talking about after this. And then I guess that will go into the next chunk of hobby, which is putting the next list together to play you. Which probably won't, I don't know, probably won't be much different to either what I took or I'll change it up just a little bit, I guess. So I guess we can have a chat about that after the battle report section.
Yep.
If you want. Yeah, what did you get up to, Josh?
Yep. I mainly got up to a couple of things. So one of it was I was finishing off my Brett Lord that I do, like the mounted one that I'm doing for Uprising, because I had a couple of guys, I had that and the mage I wanted to do. And I had a lot of fun actually doing the barding for him.
Is he finished?
So actually, yeah, it's pretty much finished. I haven't got a photo of him. That's sort of let's see if I can get a good.
Oh yeah.
We'll zoom in on that. There we go.
Oh, it does. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So that's what it looks like. So that's I pretty much did I found a nice little Vine looking transfer, image on the internet, and I sort of printed it off, and then I used that as a stencil essentially, or a template to then sort of guide sort of doing freehand over the top of it, I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I was trying to get him, because I was doing him as a Grail theme, and because the rest of my Ground Knights are sort of a similar sort of thing, but maybe a slightly more simple sort of freehand pattern.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can zoom in on
this. I remember your Growls. They were really nice.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, like that kind of thing. So yeah, the Lord I was trying to do a bit more intricate, I guess.
So
So
when you're saying you use it as a guide, did you like practice? Is that what you mean? Like you were doing it elsewhere?
No,
I just put it right on the figure and did it.
I stuck the transfer on.
Right.
Set it right in, and then I just did. Then I just like went over the top of it with the paint. Essentially, because it was just black. Because I only have a laser printer, so it's just doing, and it's black and white. I was just using it as a guide, really. I mean, I guess you could print it off and inkjet with the right transfer paper and not freehand over it. But I don't know. I like the idea of rather than just printing it off and sticking it on.
I'm intrigued. I think there needs to be a video of this. 100%.
This process.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
How this works.
This 100%.
Yeah, I should have taken a video of it, I guess.
You'll do it on your next hobby hour or whatever you do.
Yeah.
I know you don't have your camera yet.
Josh doesn't want to give away all his secrets.
That's the other thing you did. You did get a new, that might have been last week, I don't know. You did get a new hobby webcam for some.
Yeah, I have got a webcam now, so I might look at doing a hobby time, at some point. Probably on a Tuesday or something, usually. When I got time to do it. He's pretty much ready. And the other thing I was doing was working on constructing some Furies for the Cult of Slanesh army. So sort of Slanesh themed Chaos Furies. And I've been thinking a lot for a long time about how to do this, really. Like, because there are like the newer Furies that got released, I think, where there's like
I was going to say, isn't there some new ones?
But I really wanted something that was more themed to the army. Something that looked more Slaneshi, even though they're not really Marcus Slanesh at all. They're just like Chaos Undivided things anyway. But I still wanted it to fit the Cult of Slanesh. So, and so I've been thinking about: do I just like proxy harpies, or do I get some wings or something and stick them on the back of some of the demonettes or something like that? And I ended up actually finding a file, like a 3D printable file that was like. It was just sort of like winged demon girls that were like
little sexy demon girls.
Had the nice wings and the tail and stuff, and it looked okay. It worked, but what I also did was I cut off the heads. I had some of the demonettes that I printed, cut off their heads, and I used their arms and actually stuck them on the frame of the what I printed, so that it would actually fit slightly more of the aesthetic. Because like the aesthetic of the heads was slightly different, because that's just the design of it. So it actually fits quite closely to how the rest of the other demonettes in the army look. Because I feel like if I just stuck wings on the demonettes themselves, like they don't have the right dynamism of a flying sort of posture, I think.
Yeah.
So that's why I sort of went down that route.
Yeah. I'm sort of related.
I've got a photo of it. I'm not sure if I can get it on here.
Yeah, I was going to say photo, or if you got one of the minis.
Got I did that. I remember I did the slow grow for my demons, and I'll just bring mine up quickly, Josh, while you're looking for yours. I guess I did what you were saying you were thinking of doing, whereas like for my corn furies, I used the blood ladder, or whatever they are. Blood ladders?
Yeah. Blood ladders.
And all these wings are from like one of the 40k kits. I can't remember which one it was. But then I also did, and you probably can't really see it, but out the back there, the blue, like the Zench ones are like the blue horrors, with the same wings on them. But so I guess my first thing was, get some demonettes, but the demonettes are probably a different posture, aren't they? They probably don't look as flyy or anything. I don't know. They do. Yeah, demonette. Yeah. So yeah. Do you have a picture of it?
So I'll see if I can get it up here. Oh.
But they are funny to do like little mods like that, I reckon. So you can tell it's like still Slanesh or something.
There we go. There we go. I set the bottom now.
Oh yeah, they look cool.
Yeah. So some of them I pinned to the bases. Some of them I've just got them just glued onto the edges. It's not the best photo. So I just hurriedly took it while about 5 minutes ago.
Oh, right.
A little sucky boy. They're gold.
They're cool. How? They're cool. Awesome.
Yeah. So the other thing was, actually, the basing was funny because I actually they're on 25s now. I actually based these all up on 20s without even thinking about it.
Right. Yeah.
I'll just put them on 20s, and then I realized that Chaos Furies in 6th ed are actually on 25s. So I was like, okay, this is completely wrong. So I had to take them off the bases and go. And then I had to stop and think and go, oh, wait, do I base these on 30s now or 25s? Do I actually try to make them compatible with the old world? Or do I just put them on 25s, because that's a 6th ed? But then I ultimately was like, because I mean, if I'm going to expand this Slanesh army, I might go into demons or something, or Chaos Warriors, something as well as a Dark Elves, maybe one day. But that seems very far off, pretty unlikely. Yeah. But what I realized is I'm actually more likely, if I was running a Slanesh themed Dark Elf army, to run these as Harpies, in which case they would be on 25s for the old world.
Yeah.
So then in that case, I was like, oh, I'll probably just put on 25. So that way, they're compatible with the 6th ed, and they're also, I can use them as Harpies, which I'm far more likely to do than run them as Chaos Furies anytime soon. Because I don't really have any other demons, really, that I've done. So that was the story base. I was so annoyed though, because I was like, I spent 40 minutes basing them, and then the next morning I was like,
that's funny.
These ones, these are just the wrong size. I think actually, because I actually had printed the bases. And I thought I'd printed 25s, and I just like processed them and put them on. And then it was only after I put them next to another 20mm base, I was like, oh, I've printed the wrong size base. Like, I didn't actually realize I'd done it. That's really annoying. I was like, these 25s aren't that much bigger than 20s. That's funny. And it was like, turned out, it's completely stuffed it up.
Yeah. Oops.
Oh dear. But
cool.
That was
awesome.
Pretty much all the hobby time for me. Yep.
Sounds good. What do we want to? Well, we're going to go on to. Do you want to have a quick chat about our game and then go into the YouTube responses? Or we can do them first.
Oh yeah. Let's just do the game.
Okay. So what happened?
We're on it.
I'll let you lead then a bit.
Okay. So as if people haven't caught the game, so basically we're going to be doing a video tomorrow-ish, depends on when it gets released, for the bat rep. Just going to be the shortened down version from the stream, so it's just going to be probably a half an hour version. So we'll leave a lot of the detail for that. So yeah, if you didn't catch the stream or you want another afterthought of what happened, yeah, definitely check that out tomorrow. But basically, yeah, it was myself and Gommo came for another bit of a showdown, undead showdown. So
What are they
Gommo's
called? Wet versus dry undead. I didn't realize it was that until everyone started commenting it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I heard that.
So yeah, it was the Tomb Kings again versus the Vamps. I opted in my list this time because I've been playing with a few lists to try for something that could possibly defeat a dragon without taking a dragon. So I kitted up a couple of Strigoi Ghoul Kings and Gommo's brought along his dragon this time. Obviously, last time he was playing his Wyverns, and this time he's brought a big beefy dragon along for the game. And yeah, it ended up being quite interesting. It was quite a bloody game. Did you want me to just talk about my game and you talk about your game to a certain extent?
Yeah, just just talk about whatever you like.
Basically,
what
thoughts?
worked, what didn't, or whatever. Yeah, like I don't care about spoilers. People can just skip this section if they don't want spoilers.
Yeah. Well, it'll be pretty quick. So I bought a heap of ghouls. I think I had 3 or 4 ghoul units.
5 units, was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it
maybe
2
4.
or 3 and then 2 skirmish ones, or was it 2 with 2
Yeah,
skirmish?
something like that. I bought 2 Vargulfs again. I bought a Screamy Terrorgeist. I was running a vampire on a chariot just to see how he went. Because I was looking at this vampire thrall chariot list, so like the mini vamps. And basically I ran a Monster Slain Ghoul King with the Flying Horror, so he can fly 10. And I had the other Ghoul King running a Ogre Blade. I think
you're dropping in and out there a little bit, are you? Or is that?
Oh,
sorry, you're back. No, you're all good now. I think I don't know if it's mine.
Fine to me.
Oh, okay, might be mine. All good.
Yeah, so that was basically my list. Probably the big highlights there was obviously we had we rolled number 6, which was the feature, and we ended up rolling with the tower in the center. So Gommo didn't have a lot of units that would be applicable to going into the feature, whereas obviously I had a heap of ghoul units, so I sort of went in there pretty early. Yeah, but they didn't last. Spoiler. So yeah, anyway, we both went into the center. I went pretty decent against most of his units. So I won't get into it too much, but yeah, sort of everything did quite well. Obviously, the only thing I did have trouble with was the dragon. So I'll let Gommo get into this, but he did have the reroll successful wounds, which was really, really hard to get through. So my monster slaying sword on my Ghoul King, I think he went in first into the dragon. Yeah, and he's come in. I think he ended up getting all his hits through. He got 2 6s, which for a normal dragon, that's really going to hurt you, because then you're going to need 2 wards to survive. Whereas, obviously, I needed to re-roll and get 2 more 6s, which I wasn't successful on.
That's brutal.
Yeah. Yeah. So he died.
A very effective counter to Slayer.
I bought.
It's like coin tossing.
As if dragons needed any more countering to that. That's like supposed to be the counter to the dragon, and you've got a counter to the counter.
It's a very unique dragon build, because it's the only one that does it, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, I'd imagine that you wouldn't be able to do that easily outside Tomb Kings. Yeah.
So yeah, he got stomped on, and then my Ogre Blade guy did quite well in other areas, but then I sent him in, probably not, knowing he wasn't really going to be the best option to go in, but I sent him in anyway because why not? And he got stomped on too. again, I forget how I rolled. I've got a feeling. Oh, that's right. I've got a feeling I let somebody else take the challenge first, so he didn't have his hatred. Is that correct?
Yeah, and you lost your hatred. Yes.
Yeah, I
so
completely stuffed it up. Yeah. I think I
right.
fed the champ first, completely just not realizing or just didn't think about hatred. And then, when it was his turn, he, I don't even know if I got any. I might have got one hit possibly or something.
Yeah,
I think I rolled.
To be honest, I can't remember. I don't think you got a wound through.
Yeah, I don't think I did either.
Ever.
I think I just rolled.
I think I ended
poorly.
up warding or regenning when you did get something close to it. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So that and then that all went down pretty poorly. But
it's
the
funny,
dragon.
I had nothing to go into the tower except unless you were going to knock my Sharpie down a bit, but you didn't. Oh, you did, but then they eventually died anyway. But then ended up flying my necromancer guy in turn 6 because that's the only thing I could to get into the tower. So it's just funny, like when you don't take the right, like you didn't know the scenario. Like I guess in a tournament, if you knew that scenario was in there, you're gonna have to make sure you got stuff that could go in it.
Yeah,
at least a couple of units that could take it.
Yeah.
Did you want to go through?
Yeah, so I took like I said, obviously wanted to take the big dragon, unkillable dragon with these talisman of attraction as well. Plus potion of toughness, although I did roll that at the wrong time because I was just used to. I think I don't even know if that was innate or not. You could just pop it, but you're supposed to pop it at the beginning of your turn. So I'll have to, maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, like it's an enchantment, isn't it? Is that essentially
basically or
how it
something
works?
Like that? Yeah. So I mean, you could still do. You just got to obviously anticipate that. Okay, this is the one I'm going to get charged at, so I better have my toughness up. But I mean, you probably don't need that, obviously, because you got the rerolls to damage or wounds, plus the potentially the ability to heal the dragon 1 wound per a rise spell thing, whatever it's called. So I mean, it's one of these unique builds, isn't it? It's not as it's probably
what
not
kills
as
that, man?
beefy as the Chaos Lord, but the fact that you re-roll, it's way more durable in a sense. You know what I mean? Because you get a heal, and so it's pretty crazy. Probably doesn't have the output as the Chaos Lord, but in some sense, it's probably going to survive more.
100%.
But so then the other thing I wanted to do,
and it's so hard to get victory points out of a unit like that. Like unless you kill him every wound, you're just not going to get anything out of it. Crazy.
Yeah, so the other thing I want to do is then go more infantry, try in terms of having that block of Tomb Guard with hatred. Like, so I took a Necrotech, 2 level 1 Mortuary Priests on foot. The whole idea trying to be, well, I don't know. I feel like magic, even with a level 4, isn't that, I don't know. I feel like at some point, especially if you're undead, I'd almost just take heap of level 1s sometimes, go bugger it, and just like, but put them behind the units just to throw as many Arise spells as you can just to keep them healed. The issue is I got out of position a bit with my Tomb Kings because they did like a charge and then an overrun and actually got out of, because I didn't put my Mortuary Priests in the unit. They sort of like were behind and weren't able to be either in range or, I can't remember, Andrew, I might have got this wrong, but I definitely was rolling one of them for Leadership 7, but I wasn't re-rolling, so because of the BSB. So either I was out of range or the BSB was dead by then, I can't remember. Or I forgot, so I can't remember, because I don't believe I ever re-rolled that Arise, which I could if he was within 12.
Within range, yeah.
But I can't remember. He probably was dead, actually, when I failed that Leadership 7 one anyway. But that was the idea, is like put a Tomb Guard block in, put the Necrotech, so now they got hatred. I had the banner or whatever it is, the magic item that gives you poison. I forgot that the Necrotech, you're supposed to do a leadership test for him to get the hatred, but he also adds +1 attacks, which I forgot about because that's a new thing. So technically these guys would have poison, cleaving blow, which I forgot about as well, but I don't know if it came up. And reroll to hits +1 attack. So they'd all have 2 attacks. They're pretty good unit. And I'm just wondering if, you do that with some of the Mortuary Priests either behind or maybe one in the unit and you have it fairly wide and then you just like push it forward and go, well, have fun. And to be honest, well, now I'm giving you my stuff, which I will. I don't care. But I'm also thinking maybe I will try get drilled onto them.
Yeah.
Because imagine being able to charge in just before and like I'm on the camp that you can do a drilled change before you charge. So obviously I'm not marching column here, but I'm like, well, bugger, I still might want to turn into a big line when I do a charge if I want to try these rules out. Because suddenly, you only get one attack for supports, but if I've got rerolls and they're poison, I probably want as many attacks as I want.
Yeah, 100%.
So they're I don't know. It's Tomb Guard always like infantry's always been like this. It's like you want infantry to work, but does it work? So I guess that's the thing I'd like to try with it. So I did that, and then just took the archers and horse archers and 2 tomb scorpions and a Necrosphinx, which I threw away pretty much because last time I played the Necrosphinx against you was charging your zombies and didn't even realize his leadership initiative 1. And then charged him straight in turn 1, probably on an illegal charge, but by an inch. But into your crypt, your Ghoul King, who has initiative 7, and the dude just wiped him out. So I was like, I really have to look at this stuff a bit better. Yeah, it's like you see the charge as like a long bomb charge. Like, I'll try it, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I don't get to attack first here. Oh god, he's got the ogre blade. He's dead.
Yeah.
It's funny.
So yeah.
You got hatred then.
Yeah. No, but it ended up being, this is the thing, it ended up being one of the games where the dragon was so survivable, which allowed, obviously my guy to get into the tower and, basically, win that game without spoiler too much. But it then led us on to, let's just have the chat, I guess. We want to do another game where we're going to, so we did a video last week on how to kill the dragon with all the, not that we know how to kill the dragon, but what are the options, which we'll go on to in a minute. But I guess we decided then, well, why don't we do a game where we see how this dragon can go against the gun line, basically, or some form of gun line with dwarves, like lots of cannons or whatever it is. So I guess that's the game we're going to try next. Andrew's going to come up with sounds like you have been scheming a dwarf army with
so
some counters, and then I'll take either this list or a similar list to this, and I might play around with some things. But yeah.
So everyone at home, the brief for the list making basically was, obviously I was taking dwarves, Gommo was taking his Tomb Kings, so he basically had to take a dragon, and the brief was basically we're both going to a tournament sort of setting. He would take a dragon knowing that there's going to be people with counters, possible gun lines, possible this and that, but he's not specifically going anti-dwarf. And same with me, I'd be going to a tournament setting thinking, all right, there's going to be dragons, but I just won't have 10 cannons lined up. Like, obviously, I'm going to be being able to take on combined armies, like combined unit armies and things like that, combined forces. So, yeah, I've sort of got some counters, but they're not. I've tried to put a list together that's tried to be impartial to knowing what I'm going to be facing, if you know what I mean. So this is trying to.
Totally.
We're both trying to come up with a tournament.
So the change I would want to. I don't know if I can fit this in, but what I originally was going to even take against you the other day, but then I went, well, it's just not even going to really work when I know your vampires, was skull chuckers, like something, because if I played a tournament, I would like to at least play on the whole, you did it with me, the spirit leech, and try and because you're going to run into, unless you run into other vampires, you will run into Tomb King lists, so they won't work. So you're going to have to sort of have a think about how much do I want to invest. I would not go the full Terror Bomb because it's not worth it. You run into 2 other Tomb King lists or something. You're like, well, that was a waste. But you probably want to have a bit more terror stuff in it. But I don't know if it'll fit if I want to try these, Tomb Guard units and stuff. So I'm just going to play around with it. But that was going to be maybe a change I made, but I don't know. I need to work that out. So
yeah, mine's pretty much. Well, it's setting curing concrete, so it's not 100% cured, but I've done most of my list. I'm pretty happy, So I don't think I'll be changing too much. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
Anyway,
Good
well,
list.
that's yeah,
I'm
that was
very
a good.
intrigued.
So we'll
Yeah,
give that one a
dwarves.
go and we'll
See what you come up
happens.
with.
Yeah, dwarves are good. We'll see how we go. Might do a dwarf book review coming up. But yeah, they're actually, besides the movement, I actually like where the units are at and what they're doing. The movement's the only thing that's a pain in the butt. But yeah, hopefully this drill gets clarified sooner rather than later.
Yeah,
because that'll help out quite a bit.
It'll help a lot with dwarves, wouldn't it? Yeah,
totally. Yeah,
to pop in and out of marching column at
Yep.
will.
Yeah, but I'm happy to play that. You can do it if you need it as well. Because I don't know. I feel like that's leaning on towards that interpretation of it at least. So
yeah, I still can't believe they got like a banner that gives you like Vanguard, and it's like I can only move 3 inches anyway. I'm like, why do I want to spend money on a fucking 3-inch Vanguard banner?
Yeah, weird.
Anyway.
Cool. Okay. Well, we did
much
do
is that banner?
It's
is
like,
it like a 50
it's
point
like
banner
30.
or something?
Nah, it's 30 odd points. But
That's
I mean, like
significant chunk.
Yeah,
right.
Who wants a Vanguard 3 inches? It's like, why? It'd almost be embarrassing. It's like, oh, hang on, I've got to move my Vanguard. It's just like,
I'll let you Vanguard the rest of them too if you like.
Yeah.
3 inches.
Cool. Well, we move on to just a quick. We're gonna so we did the how to slay a dragon, what it was, YouTube video last week, and we asked for comments and we got some comments. So I don't know, Josh, was there any here that stuck out to you that were worth bringing up that we sort of missed?
Well, a couple. One thing I didn't talk about was.
Is there feedback?
It's stopped now. It's stopped. Yep. Having some audio.
Wait, can you hear me?
It's fine now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Yep.
There's some wicked feedback for a second there.
Weird. There's one that because when I was talking about the build of the Duke, in my head, I think it's come from 6. So the virtual knightly temper, which is really good virtue, which gives hatred and plus D3 attacks. I mean, 70 points. I actually was thinking in my head that was one that you couldn't use a magic weapon with, but it's just the virtue of heroism that's got that limitation. In 6th ed, the virtue of the knightly temper you can't use a magic weapon with either. But in the old one, I must have misread it. You can actually use a weapon, which means you could potentially give him the Monster Slayer sword with that virtue, and go in with between 6 and 8 attacks with rerolls to hit.
6 to 8 with rerolls to hit. Yeah, that's good.
That is good.
So it gives you a pretty good, reasonably likelihood of getting a 6 to wound.
And he's probably the main character that can even get in contact reliably with one of these guys, because he's 360 line.
360 line, fly, he'll be able to see the large target. So if you come inside a 20-inch bubble, it's likely to engage. I mean, taking that build, it does limit a little bit your versatility slightly. I was thinking maybe you could take something like the Sword of Might or something as a, because you can take that as a second magic weapon, just to give yourself something else to use that's got a bit of armor penetration. Because I find if you're just running it with strength 5 and no AP, it really can limit how effective you are in combat. I think depending on
how many points would it be? Is he about 400 when you do that build, or is he less? Or
I think it'd be under that. I can work it out if you give me a second.
because I was just thinking the other option is you want him to do a lot of damage, but can he just make, even on those bad matchups, can he at least make that back? I wonder,
So could he not take the Ogre Blade?
Or not with? Yeah, you could.
He could take the Ogre Blade, but then you don't get Monster Slayer. Yeah.
Oh, but you got that much attacks. You got rerolls to hit anyway. I'm just thinking.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
What's his strength? His strength 5, isn't he?
It's strength 5 base. Yeah. So
you'd be strength 7. You'd be
strength 7 2 AP, which that's You're right. That is an entirely valid because I was thinking about that too. Yeah. It depends on how much you want monster slaying versus the versatility of multi-wounds 2 and 2 AP, which I think, you could totally do.
Because you don't even need to kill him there. You just need to break him in combat potentially as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I guess, depending on who you charge him with, if you can beat them on unit strength or something, make him break and not just fall back, you might better just run him down. So,
I'd like to see the maths on that, because like Monster Slayer, you'd be like a 90% kill chance, you think, when you're going in with that many attacks with reroll to hit. Like,
it is. Yeah, you have to sit down to the maths, but it'd be much better than a goblin on a chariot.
Yeah, few more points.
He'd be about 400 points. Yeah, with if he's got 90 points of magic items and the 70-point virtue on a royal peg, he's 400.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
it's not bad at all.
And the problem is if he whiffs, if he doesn't kill it, he's likely to get eaten.
Yeah.
By the dragon.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Pretty much.
So it's a bit of an all or nothing.
It feels like one of these annoying games though. Like when everyone talks about the counter to the dragon is another dragon. I guess that's true, but if one of them's going to just kill the other one, then it's almost like, well, who's going to end up doing that first? And then suddenly now they don't have a dragon, and the other person does, just to mop up the whole army. Like I hope it doesn't turn
essentially.
into that,
I hope not. Because if it's just essentially is whose dragon prevails wins the day,
and that happens in turn 2, and then suddenly by turn 3 or 4, this dragon's just free reign go around and just
why even bother setting the army down? Just have 2 dragons on a table, see who wins. Everyone go home. Why waste all this extra time deploying the rest of these
ultimate challenge?
It's a dragon duel.
The dragon duel. Not waste time. Get your dragon out.
Yeah, and you like that definitely because we didn't mention too much magic and we did it on the fly there. I think we did mention Beastmen a bit, but it sounded like they're a lot more than we thought. So I don't know, Andrew, what did you find with that? What were some of the comments on that one? Obviously, it's the Volatile spells.
Oh, God, you're trying to make me read this tiny text. I'm on my phone here too.
Okay. But no, I mean, look, we just had confirmation that, I mean, the Beastmen can take, I think they said they can even get up to 3 potential volatile, mages basically, but definitely double volatiles. One of them with Hag Tree, which is the reroll damage.
It's nuts.
So you 5d6 rerolling your wounds. No armor save. Auto hit. So you get that off enough, you can definitely wipe down a dragon, at least get it to the point, if not kill it, really hurt it.
Only
what happens
toughness
with that
6,
versus the
wasn't
dragon one, the Tomb King one? What happens with that?
Was that toughness 7?
Sorry. No. In terms of reroll wounds, does that mean they just don't reroll then? Is that right? I think that's the rule, isn't it? If you all have to reroll a hit, but you have to then reroll, or do they reroll misses and then you make them reroll? Like, how does that work? Doesn't it cancel out?
I think it might. I mean, we're probably thinking the old editions. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's likely to be the case.
But like if there's any way to get your toughness up to 7, then those volatiles aren't going to work. But it feels like most of the dragons are tough 6.
Yeah, I think so. I was trying to remember because Vamp's got something, but I think gives you an extra wound, not extra toughness.
Yeah, was there any other, Josh, did you see any other? There was Wood Elf one, but that was probably more just the Spectre Doppelganger builds.
Stacking with the Dragon Slaying Sword, which I don't think we really mentioned specifically.
Right.
I think we talked about Melsa Haestrom, but it is interesting to give a Dragon Slaying Sword to a mage.
Yeah.
Especially on a Warhawk or a Great Eagle, which give a 360 line of sight as well. In a way, that's similar threat to the Duke in a way. If you can get the spell off, that is.
Yeah.
Because you can get 2d6 auto hits, you're going to get a 6 in there. I think that was Most of it, really.
They were the main ones, I think.
Anything else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is like quite. You'd think the what's the beast magic spell's name again, sorry?
Voltide.
Yeah. It's was it Veiltide? Yeah, it'd be quite useful against numerous things. So it's you're probably going to see that quite a lot because it's not just a monster hunter. If you're not getting saves, I mean, even going against cavalry or elite infantry, like you're going to be hurting a bunch of stuff.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, that used to be, like I say, like when I played against like Simon Turner, his Beastman in 8th, I mean, he just was popping it all the time, just wiped out all my artillery within 2 turns. He'd end up with no artillery left because when you roll 5d6, you're going to roll 3 6s at some point and just wipe out the war machine,
Maybe you'll see the top tables.
Yeah.
Top tables, Beastman. Calling it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the scary thing is, and this is another one of the comments, is about things like, when you're putting high elf archmages on dragons, and then bringing, if they're on illusion, bringing the special doppelganger with them on slaying sword, but they're also on a dragon, so they're getting all the benefits of the dragon, but they're also potentially countering other dragons. It's just like, man, this is going up like next level.
At least in combat, you can kind of throw a decent block of infantry in and hold it up quite a bit.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? It might not actually put out that much damage, so that you might actually be able to cause a squeaky break test that, if they fail, they can't fall back in good order because they're outnumbered 2-1.
Yeah.
I guess it's the only sort of.
It just would. I mean, you'd have to get the infantry into that because they're not going to charge in. Like.
Oh yeah, but at some point, well, it's one of these things.
Maybe
like
they will.
600 odd point model, like it's
you got to make the points back somehow.
It's got to do something.
Yeah. But I mean, static combat res just isn't what it used to be. The way they've limited rank bonus, they've given close order bonus to things like dragons as well.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
And you're not getting a bonus for outnumbering in the combat res either. So it's it makes it harder to win if you're only up by, rather than starting off up by 5 or because in like 6th ed, for instance, it'd be 3 ranks banner outnumbering, so you're up by 5 to start with. Whereas I think you're starting by 3 if you've got a standard and 2 ranks. So that's a big handicap, isn't it?
It's almost like if you're playing that, you're going to have to do the BSB in there. Maybe if you're lucky to have like orcs where you got horde or something, or so you can try and get it up bigger.
It gets quite costly.
Some other way to get combat res.
Yeah. And then it gets really expensive. You're putting a BSB in.
Well, then maybe that's a good thing, because going back to your point, like the bigger Death Star you have, the more reason the dragon's got to go in there.
Yeah. But if you've got like horde and whatnot, obviously to not be in marching columns, you end up with this big old unit trying to get these extra ranks. Because I've been looking into this, trying to get the extra ranks. I'm like, it does get really, really hard. Especially if you want to get extra attacks in and get wider still, it takes your ranks away. So it's like, well,
I'd love to see rank bonus doubled.
Wouldn't
that be interesting?
But do you reckon
we'll make a decision about how wide you go?
Yeah. The only problem there is I reckon you end up with this potential where it's almost like 8th again, where people go, okay, well, I'll take.
Yeah.
I'll still go 10, 20 wide, but I'll go like the people who don't care about 200. But you know what I mean? Like that's and I think they want to probably. I'd probably rather. I did hear again, not this sort of off topic, but the whole line hammer thing. Maybe we should do a different video on that. But Miniature guy Steve was just talking about an easy comp to that, like an easy change to that would be that, and it's a bit annoying, but your supporting attacks can only be up to your movement value, which I thought, okay, well, that'd be an easy addition to it. So like, you can only do that one attack if you're not in base contact, but you have to be within your 4 inches or whatever, which is a little bit annoying because you have to measure it. But a lot of the bases 25 mils. It wouldn't be that hard, but it would stop you doing a line hammer. So
yeah,
so there's little changes like that, which I think might fix that if that is indeed an issue. But I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
Hey, cool.
At least like reforming. I don't think like just you better reform as easy from like a block to like a line. That just seems a bit crazy.
Especially when you fall back in good order, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That should just be a redress if that, or just a pivot and no reform. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or something like. Yeah, like I don't mind a reform, but not like an unlimited reform.
Yeah, a full reform as if you're just rallied.
It's annoying with that maneuver, isn't it? Where they've got like wheel, they've got turn wheel, whatever, backwards, all that crap. Then they've got redress ranks and they've got reform. And then in the box, they've got pivot. And they talk about what a pivot is. But like pivot's not pivot's not a maneuver. It's just this commentary. I feel like maybe they could have done something like that where a pivot is an actual maneuver, but you can't. That's all you can do is just spin around your center.
Yeah.
Because then you could do something like, okay, well, when you fall back in good order, you're allowed to pivot. But that's it.
Yeah.
Whereas an actual reform is a full change facing, do whatever you want. It's a pivot as well, but it's got all the extra stuff.
I think that would make a lot of sense. Absolutely. It's way too advantageous to be able to fall back in good order and then fall into a line.
Yeah, like you've lost
considering you lost
battle.
You lost the battle.
Yeah. They've definitely added a lot more. Even when you're winning, they've added a lot more ways to just change your facing, which coming from 6, it's like, oh wow, but I guess coming from 8th, it's similar, but even in 8th had less than that. So
I don't mind it so much when you're winning because you're in a position where you can choose what you want to do next. But being able to do that from a losing position is really
it's a bit weird. Yeah.
Doesn't have the right feeling.
Agreed.
Yeah, and even just in general, like fleeing, rallying. When you rally in general, that you can reform and just move and do whatever you want. You just can't charge, can you? Is that so? Like years ago, you'd do a rally test and you'd rally and turn around and that's it.
Yeah, just stuck.
But now if you rally, that's the first thing you do, and then you can do whatever you want, which is a change again. Like, which I don't know, is probably not too bad because it gets units back in the game. But it seems like there's more ways to not run away, if you know what I mean. Not be stuck from running away.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's. We'll bring up my screen. Do you guys want to just smash through our thoughts on the rest of the magic items?
Yeah, let's go through it.
Cool. This is where we got to last week. We did all the magic weapons, but now we're on to the Big Boob Looks magic armor and all the other ones, which should go pretty quick. But let's start with them, I guess. So Armor of Destiny. Actually, so I had an interesting comment, which I didn't get back to on YouTube, but I'll ask you guys. So, and it's sort of related to the dragon build with its armor. It's that armor of, I can't remember, it's Ages or whatever it's called, the one that I was taking with the dragon. It's actually light armor. I think it's light armor. And then, but, has the ability that you have to reroll wounds against it. When you're on a dragon, the dragon is plate armor, like 4+.
Yeah.
So what people do is they take the 4+ save from the dragon, and then they've got a 5+ ward and a 5+ ward with the talisman, and then they've got the 5+ regen. The question the guy asked, which I think is a valid question, is, well, if you're using the magic ability to reroll wounds against me, do I have to then at least use the light armor and don't get the dragon's plate armor?
That is a good question. That's really good.
Yeah. That's a real hard one, man. I mean, I fear that you probably don't need to use the armor to get the special rule,
I don't.
But
I
suspect that's how it's written. But I feel like you should have to. Wear the armor to get the special rule.
Yeah. I mean, if they FAQ'd it that you had to, I wouldn't complain. But I think rules is written. There is no rule that says you can't, because it feels like the special things that a magic item give are not to do with really the
No, you just pick the best armor save, but you can still use the special rules, I would imagine.
I guess it's a bit weird because a magic weapon, I mean, you have to use your magic weapon generally. It says that. But if for some reason you couldn't use your magic weapon, you definitely wouldn't get the benefits of the magic weapon. And so I guess that's sort of what he's getting at, which, I see, but that's interesting. That probably just needs to be clarified.
Yeah, agreed. It's a really good question.
And the other one that is a bit weird.
Nah,
you won't. Only models equipped with armor, a shield, a body may purchase a magical equivalent. Now, this is the other thing too, which I think is a bit weird. It's like a model can only wear a single suit of armor and can only carry one shield. Only a model that is equipped with armor, a shield. Equipped with armor, a shield, or an option to do so. So the question, I guess, is if I can only purchase light armor, can I purchase the armor of destiny, which is a suit of heavy armor?
I'd say no.
Right.
Well, you can't have both. Wait.
No, so I guess what I'm getting at is because some units can't pick a shield, for some reasons. Like a character can't have a shield. Can they pick the spell shield, for example? Because they don't have an option to pick the shield. Because this is saying it's therefore magic armor replaces any mundane equivalent the model is or may be equipped with.
No, because that's like saying, an elf scout that can only have light armor should be equipped with, if there was a plate armor option.
Yeah.
Like for me, that just doesn't make sense. You'd only be able to have light armor.
Is that different to the other editions? Because I feel like you didn't have to look at that. You just could pick magic armor if you're allowed to have magic armor. If you're allowed to wear, or was it that specific?
Nah, I thought it was that you could only pick the level of armor that you were allowed to. So if it only said light armor, then you could only pick a magical light armor.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I would have thought.
Okay, cool. I'm just thinking I'd have to actually look at that because I reckon there is some cases in some of my armies where that potentially is limited. Potentially, have to check.
Yeah, I mean, it sort of says only a model that is equipped with an armor, a shield, or body may purchase a magical equivalent. Right? That sort of implies.
Yeah, totally.
You can't purchase something that you can't be equipped with.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if the army builders are clocked in that much to this stuff. I don't know.
They're probably not.
Anyway, sorry, I diverted that a bit, but yeah, Army of Destiny, 70 points. So it's heavy armor, and you get a 4-up ward.
Yeah,
it's expensive to get that 4-up ward.
Fair chunk of your magic armor item allowance, isn't it, to get the 4-up ward for sure.
It's good about the 4-up ward. It's come in handy.
Especially if you've got 8 wounds.
Depends on how tanky your guys is, yeah.
I don't know. Have you seen very much of it at this point? I don't think.
I haven't. Yeah, I mean, most people. I mean,
really?
I haven't played many games, so I haven't actually seen a lot of people take it on battle reports as much.
Yeah,
I've seen the next one coming up.
Yeah, the bedazzling.
Yes,
bedazzling helm. Yeah, so for 60 points. So it's a helm, so it may be worn with other armor. Where it improves the armor value by 1 to a maximum of 2 up. In addition, any enemy model that directs its attacks against the wearer during the combat phase suffers -1 to hit.
So I'm going to just ask you that question again. Then, when do I ever see on my list that I can take a helm? What is?
Well, maybe one with other armor.
What is this? Maybe one.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyone can take it.
Anyone can take it.
Except a mage, because a mage can't wear armor.
Yes, they can take it, but then they can't cast spells most of the time.
You
can't take any armor. Yeah, it's just
Yeah. So I'll carry on, shall I? So that
the thing with that one as well, I mean, that would be the same question as your other one with the Armor of the Ages. It's like if the rider was wearing that, but then you're using the monster's armor, still get -1 to hit.
Yeah, I guess.
I think they would. Yeah,
I think because I'm envisioning that this bedazzling helm's, whatever, you're not really, you've got it on there. So this aura of whatever, -1 is still, hurting you,
It's
even
still very
though when you
bright.
actually get hit, you're actually, you're this combined tough thing. So you're using the dragon's armor. So I don't know if that's right, but that's how I'm playing it.
Well,
but,
it apparently it confuses and confounds the enemies.
Yeah,
and that's how it causes the blow to fall wide of the mark.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be like bright and blinding, but no, apparently it's confusing.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. Go on.
Go on. Armored of silvered steel. So 40 points. So still pretty expensive. But yeah, it's a suit of armor that gives its wearer an armor save of 3+, which cannot be improved in any way. So pretty decent for a 3+ save, but obviously can't improve it. Probably going to be good for those characters and whatnot, because it just says it's just a suit of armor. So if you had like a light armor only sort of elf or something like that, which won't have access to a 3+ save, I think this is one of those.
Yeah, something on foot that's not going to get barding or any other sort of benefits. Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
But yeah, 40 points is still fairly big investment for that. But
it is. If
you've got no other option.
Yeah, because like normal plate and whatnot for characters, you're only coming in at like what 7 or 8 points. So
yeah. This is 40
to get that.
3 up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they've got to make these ones more because you can join it with other stuff. You can't join this with other armor save, but if you could get this with regen and wards and all that sort of stuff, then suddenly it's a bit harder. Glittering scales, 35 points. Light armor. Once per turn, you make the opponent reroll a single roll to hit made against the wearer. What do you think of that one? Still seems quite pricey for a single reroll to hit, but
yeah, and it's a suit of light armor. Yeah, I'm giving it a big thumbs down.
Yeah,
35 points.
The light armor. Yeah, so the good thing with the bedazzling helm, which I see is sort of in a similar vein, is it's giving you an extra pip of armor save as well.
Yeah,
only 25 points more, and a -1 hit across the board is arguably maybe better.
The only thing I could think,
I mean,
glittering scale,
re-rolling a force re-roll is not bad though. Of one,
yeah. I think you'd end up have to, but I don't know. Maybe is there some elf characters and special, those, that have really high weapon skills? Like, what's the highest weapon skill in the game for just sort of a hero level character or something? You know what I mean? And then maybe you take something like this because the chance someone's probably potentially hitting them on 5s, so they're not getting many through, which means when they're re-rolling that single one, they're potentially making them re-roll that only one they got through. Like, that's the only thing I could think where it starts paying itself off a little bit, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Shadow Dance is weapon skill 8. That's pretty nifty.
Yeah, it's pretty high.
Yeah, I don't think there's many higher than that. You still have to weapon skill 3 to be hitting them on 5s, though.
Yeah. Shield. Who's next?
What should we doing? Oh, hold on. Where are we? Yeah.
Shield.
Shield of the Warrior True. So it essentially gives a 5 upward save against any wounds suffered during the shooting phase, and it's a shield as well for 30 points. Which, a bit situational.
Flying character or something? That's flying around, war machines, shooting, maybe? Is that what you'd use it for?
Yeah, I think so. Just to, if you had something mounted or something that you just didn't have a ward save and you just wanted some protection against cannons or something, I guess. But even then, it's still a fairly significant investment for something that might be a bit situational when you could also just try to hide it out of line of sight.
Yeah. Spell Shield coming in, 25 points. This is going to be one of your more common magic items. So every man and his dog can take this if they choose. So The spell shield is a shield, just in case you didn't know. In addition, its bearer has a 5+ ward save against any wound suffered that was caused by a magic missile, magical vortex, or assailment spell. So again, this is pretty much in a very similar boat to your Warrior True. So it's going to be very situational. Might be decent, I suppose. Again, you'd almost just want to fork out, just get the 5+ ward save. But, if you had the ability to get it with these types of shields or armor, in my opinion, where it's only going to be against, magic or shooting or combat sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, from what I've seen with, even a sale, I mean, I don't know. I think you're going to end up with a ward from somewhere else. If you're worried about getting hit with assailments like the spectral doppelganger, is that technically that's not really is it an assailant? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You're probably taking some other things. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it is interesting that's common, because did they think then that would be more useful and you'd see it around the place more? But I don't know.
Yeah, it's curious that they made it extremely common. Not like you can take more than one on a character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The armor of meteoric iron, this has always been the game, but it used to be the 2+ one. And now it's just 5+, can't be improved in any way. However, can't be reduced in any way either. So you end up with just a 5+ save, unless I guess you get no save. Again, I don't know.
Is that different? It's like no armor save means it ignores this, do you think? Yeah?
I think so still, yeah.
It would, wouldn't it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Because it just says, however, nor can this armor value be reduced in any way, which I guess, I don't know. I would say, if you don't get an armor save, you don't get this, but I would imagine.
I would say that, I'd agree.
Yeah, I agree.
But I mean, what do you think about it? Like, it used to be a 2+.
Just not useful.
Was it in 8th? It was a 2+. So it was closer.
Yeah, straight 2+. Yeah, a 5+ that can't be improved. It's really just not helpful.
Yeah,
not helpful at all.
Yeah, it's almost like you could have taken that one off and let you stack it, but you can't get it lower than 5+. That would have been slightly better.
Yeah, for sure. Enchanted Shield. The old Enchanted Shield for 10 points, as has always been. Unfortunately, a lot less useful these days. So it's a shield, and in addition, its bearer has a 6+ ward save against any wounds that were suffered from non-magical attacks. It's like, wow, that's so specific and really terrible.
I just think you could always find something better to spend the 10 points on.
It's crazy to think now that the old Enchanted Shield was, an extra pip of armor save for 10 points. Like it just makes it look incredible compared to that.
It's across the board, but like the magic items, I think everybody's on the same boat, that they're a little bit, it's a lot more.
It's almost like there's a couple in each section that everyone's always going to have, and then the rest.
Yeah, the rest are just like what. Yeah. The Charm Shield. So this is your 5-point Hail Mary. So the Charm Shield is a shield, if you didn't know that. In addition, once per game, the Charm Shield gives its bearer a 5+ ward save against a single wound. Once this ward save has been used, the Charm Shield is considered to be an ordinary non-magical shield. For 5 points, I got to admit, if you didn't have a ward save, I'd be throwing this on.
Yeah. Exactly. And especially, again, if, that character had a certain, like that goblin wolf person that's trying to get in and hit someone with his strength 10, he's got to get across the board. You sort of whack this on there as well. And,
It's a shame you can't have more than one shield, because you could have a stack of like 4 of them. Like 4 charm shields.
And model that on the back of the character. Yeah.
I mean, the 5 says it's only, it's a simple shield hung with charms and fetishes to bring the bearer good fortune. But in the heat of battle, such ornamentation rarely survives intact for long.
It's got goblin written all over it. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I like that. All right.
Cool. Talismans then. We go on to, there's a handful of them. Dawnstone, 35 points.
Yeah, Dawnstone. Am I going?
Oh, I don't know. Or was that me? Or did I just go?
No, I went.
Okay.
Gommo.
I tried to do Chad Shield. Yeah, it's your turn, Gommo.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. Dawnstone, 35 points. Bearer of the Dawnstone may reroll any armor save. Roll of a natural 1. I mean, I haven't been in a position to use this, but I mean, would you potentially do this when you're on dwarf characters or something that could easily have 2-up saves and stuff? Like, is that when this stuff becomes useful, or there's better options?
Potentially.
I think it's overcosted, but yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a time of useful. Yeah, if you had a 2-up. But yeah, I agree. Like the bread version, the Grumble Grey Helm is 40 points, and it's a helm, so you get +1 AS, and you get this.
And this.
Yeah.
Which is really useful.
Yeah.
What's the points? Same points?
40.
Similar? Oh, 40.
It's only 5 more points.
Oh, yeah. That's heaps better.
Yeah. So you put that on, because they've already got, 4-up with their plate and then a shield, and then you put that helm on, do you? And you get to a 2-up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
2-up re-rolling ones.
ones. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it works nicely. Then the next one would be Talisman and Protection for 30 points, which I think we'll see around a bit because this is a straight up 5-up ward.
Yep.
So
that's
I think that's
taking. I mean, you see this a lot, I think.
Yeah. For 30 points for just a ward in every situation, I think it's hard to go past.
And especially with the undead characters that already have a 5-up regen, like it's for 30 points, you're basically getting the old 4-up ward in a way. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's probably not as good, but a 5-up is probably getting close to it.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
So this is something I've got here, right? So this is coming in at 30 points. Ross, you go on to your Shield of Warrior True, which is a shield with a 5-up ward save against only shooting for the same cost.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
A 5-up?
It's just not adding up. Like,
yeah. A 5-up, 5-up is actually a bit better than a straight 4-up.
Oh, it's better, is it? Yeah, might be. Yeah. I think I was thinking about the maths the other day, and I can't remember which way I fell on it.
57% of them you'll save, because it's 0.66 times 0.66. So it's 43% to get through. So it's actually, actually statistically quite good.
Yeah, slightly better. Yep.
The Paymaster's coin. This thing is fantastic. So common. So again, everyone's got a coin. I'll just read a little blurb because.
Oh, read the blurb. The blurb is great.
This heavy golden coin may not be enchanted, but its weight is in its owner's pocket. Certainly inspires heroism. There you go. So it's this heavy coin that inspires heroism. Yeah, it's big lump.
Because
you want to survive to use
it. This heavy golden coin may not be enchanted. It made me think of, I don't know, I mean, these, when I was religious years ago, you always heard stories that people, like some soldier had like a little Gideon Bible in his front pocket and got shot and it stopped the bullet. And I saw the heavy golden coin may not be enchanted, but it stops that one axe throw.
Yeah, that's it. So it's a single use?
Well, no, it's more like you get to re-roll the shot, the bullet.
Yes.
It's the other way around.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's more of a luck thing.
So the bearer of the Paymaster's coin may re-roll any failed rolls to hit made during the combat phase. So single use, so you can use it whenever. You can even throw it in with hatred, so you can get your hatred and then jump on to this puppy. Just to make sure
you can re-roll the re-roll. Is that what you're saying?
No. For the next phase.
Oh, right. The next time, after
you've So if you want to keep, if you really wanted to make sure what you wanted to die dies.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Again, these ones are good when they're they don't seem that overpowered because they're only 1. But, when you're putting them on heroes that might only have 2 or 3 attacks, especially if you've just got those, like you said, you had this on the Goblin one, didn't you? That had the strength 10 wallop.
I think you did.
Yeah. Makes sense.
For 25
Obsidian,
points, I reckon that's,
Yeah, you'll see it. Obsidian Lodestone, 20 points. And this is common as well. A model may purchase up to 3 of these. So this is one where you can actually stack. And it basically it's magic res, I guess. So you can stack it up to 3. I think, I don't know, my view is that we still haven't really worked out if we should have a lot of magic res in the army or not. And I think if we find the meta, you do, because, lots of spectral doppelgangers are going around or something like that, then I think you might see this pop up a lot more.
Yeah.
But it's a wait and see, isn't it?
Agreed.
The next one, Luckstone, 15 points. Can luck be trapped within a dull stone pendant? Possibly. So it's just another single use one. The bearer of a luck stone can re-roll a single failed armor save roll for 15 points. And again, it's extremely common. So you can have loads of those if you want. It is cheap. It might save a wound.
Yep.
I think it could have a place if you had some points left over to spend on it.
Yeah.
It's not an auto include, but it's not bad. Like, I can understand why someone might take it. So.
Yep.
Cool.
Jumping to standards.
Standards. Yeah.
So Banner of Iron Resolve coming in a hefty 50 points. However, a unit carrying the Banner of Iron Resolve gains a stubborn special rule. So as everybody knows, stubborn is it you just get to elect to fall.
Is it fallback or give ground when you're supposed to fall back?
Give ground.
Do you want to check? But it also allows you to pass your first one.
Oh, what am I doing?
Do you want me to just jump?
Look at this. Look at this.
Oh, you've got it.
No, I don't. 178.
Oh.
Have you got it?
Oh, no, sorry. 170. Okay.
No. Yeah.
I thought you were just going to talk through it.
There you go, stubborn. So the first time a unit requires to take a break test, it may choose not to, and so you automatically fall back in good order. Even if the unit strength of the winning side is more than twice the losing side, a unit that's not stubborn does not become stubborn when joined by you. So you just opt without. So you just fall back in good order.
Is that only on the first one though? Rick?
The first time, yeah.
Yeah, may elect to. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I thought it was fall back in good order, not give ground.
I might be thinking of another rule that had an extra rule.
Yeah, shield wall.
Back end of it.
Shield wall gives you the ability to give ground rather than falling back in good order once per game.
Shield wall, that one. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so that you combine that with stubborn, so then you just give ground.
You stack. Yeah. So that combined is that's really good, because then you can just elect to do that.
Yeah.
Because there's a good chance, like if you got high, as long as you're not going to get absolutely smashed.
Smashed, yeah.
Yeah. If you got high leadership and whatnot, you should just be giving ground or falling back in good order.
Yeah. I don't know if it's worth 50 then, unless if you baked it into your army, you really need that. Your whole plan is to smash this anvil up there.
Yeah, or unless you had shield wall or something, or like you said, you really need to hold the line.
What do you? Oh, is it Josh? Or
Your
me?
turn.
I can't remember. Mine. Razor Standard, 40 points.
Yep.
Unit carrying the Razor Standard gains the Armor Bane, 2 special rule. This one's because what did Razor Standard used to just be AP 1? Was it, or like the equivalent of it?
Yeah. It's AP 1.
It's just weird because I feel like now Armor Bane technically stacks, doesn't it? Because they all stack, unless they say they don't.
I'd say yes.
I'm pretty sure it does.
No, actually, I think Armor Bane even talks about stacking, so I think it does. Yeah. So I guess that's an interesting thing, but you're obviously still fishing for those 6s on the wound roll.
It's interesting that it's not specified to combat either. You could put this on a shooting unit or something that does both.
True.
Ooh,
like a block of 40 Sea Guard.
As
I discovered.
No, well,
yeah,
I mean,
that
to be
would
honest,
actually
you're
be really
right.
good. Yeah,
That'd be better because then you got the volume of times to hit the 6. This is the problem with just on a unit. It's like, maybe it's not as worth it for combat. I mean, it still is a little bit, but I like that idea. Yeah. Especially if you had, because do they have an Armor Bane 1 anyway or not? Is there any? Because there would be some that have Armor Bane 1 with some of the bows and stuff.
I'm pretty sure they do have a base Armor Bane 1 or something like that as well. Yeah. So it went to Armor Bane 3.
Yeah, because that wasn't a long bow. That was a different bow. I think
they have a war bow. But But I think they still had like a rule that was giving them armor piercing or something. I can't remember.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, those things I think would be useful. It also then again, does this then mean your spells as well get Armor Bane because it's shooting attack? Like if you had a wizard in there shooting magic missiles. Now that's shooting, I'd say, potentially. I don't know. Doesn't say not to.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah. I don't see. Yeah, I think it would. Because you just get the Armor Bane spell. Well, it's just. Well, although it'd be like. Does the wizard just having Armor Bane 2 special rule natively, does that carry over to... Probably wouldn't carry over to magic missiles, maybe to assailant spells, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
It might be written somewhere, but yeah.
I think Spectral Doppelganger, it would benefit from it, because doesn't it use whatever the wizard's special rules
that you actually have?
Yeah, so maybe it would affect that.
Yeah.
Rampaging Banner, 30 points. When a unit carrying the Rampaging Banner declares a charge, it may re-roll its charge roll. Sure?
I think that's useful. Yep.
All right, that's good.
Yeah.
Especially when you, twice in our game, I think Andrew stumbled over some brick walls.
That was those friggin' walls. Those ones were killing me.
So yeah.
Yeah.
On some.
Yeah. The Blazing Banner, 25 points. So this is going to be quite useful. A unit carrying the Blazing Banner gains the Flammable Attacks special rule. So yeah, it's good. It's a little bit pricey for a Flammable Attacks. It would have been nice to see, because obviously this is the problem with Flaming Banner. You can't turn it on or off. You just got it all the time. So I think it would be advantageous because there's so much regen around. You're going to see quite a lot of flaming around. You can have armies like House Dwarves who get their 5-up ward, etc., against flaming. Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Not like flaming attacks doesn't take out regen. It's only if you have flammable as a special rule.
Yeah, for undead
unit. Is that right? Yeah, and not all of them have it, which is a bit weird. So I don't know. I'm not sure if I rate flaming attacks that much at the moment, but I don't know.
Yeah. You say not all undead have the flammable special rule?
I think not all of them do.
That's pretty hard to track. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I thought most
certainly not everyone with regen have it.
Yeah, definitely not everyone with regen. Yeah. I'm pretty sure most undead would have it because I think all my vamps have got it. I think. Don't quote me.
Right. I'll try not to.
It's just and it might be, but it's just something to think about and double check.
Yeah.
Looking at it,
Fair enough. Next one, the War Banner for 25. Oh no, wait, I'm not my. Oh, I'll do it anyway. War Banner for 25 points. When calculating the combat res, the unit carrying the War Banner may claim additional bonus of 1 combat res point. Completely the same. Hasn't changed at all. Amazing. It's the only one that hasn't. It's a proud banner of great age, apparently.
Something that hasn't. Yeah. Look, I mean, it's going back to your point ages at the early part of the podcast, Josh, about, getting that, it's pretty hard to get that sort of static combat res up a bit. It's like each point counts, so it's probably useful for 25 points.
It does.
Yeah,
I mean, less useful than it used to be in that, breaking the enemies is so much harder to do.
Yeah.
So if you're winning combat by a lot, but if you want static combat res, if you're coming up against a dragon or something, super, super important.
Cool. Awesome. Well, that's all the banners. Maybe probably what we should have done is what are the take homes for each one, well, maybe we'll do that at the end, like which, pick 2 or whatever from each category that are definite ones you'd take. But anyway, enchanted items. The command. Well, here it is. Can only consume a single potion of any type per command phase. There you go. So you've got to do them in command phase. But wizardry hat, 45 points. You're a level 1 wizard and knows 1 randomly generated spell from a lore of your choosing. However, the whispers of the ghostly wizard haunting the hat are often confusing. Therefore, you are subject to stupidity.
Oh, funny. I love it. I mean, it's
45 points.
For 45 points, it's a lot better than it used to be 100 points, didn't it?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I think it's useful, especially if you want a particular maybe signature that you can normally get too. Is that right? Like, because you can pick that.
Yeah, true. You could be able to pick the signature. Yeah, for sure.
Like Viletide,
actually.
45 points to get Viletide.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It's expensive, and then obviously, if you that makes you a wizard, right?
Yeah, makes you a wizard as well.
So then you got to be losing your armor, obviously.
Yep.
Yeah, which kind of.
I think that could be in the FAQ somewhere.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I think I saw something about that.
I was trying to remember. I'm pretty sure that was it. Or does it not make you? I don't know. But if it does, if you lose your armor, that's like a big.
Oh, hang on, you can.
Deal breaker.
Yes, the wearer of the wizardry hat is not actually a wizard. Their magical powers are granted by the haunted hat, so you can.
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
And yes, you can also wear the bedazzling helm.
You can wear the bedazzling helm?
Yeah, because one is an enchanted and the other is type of magic armor.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it does make it kind of useful if I think I'd like to do this, like go through on an episode all the signature spells in the game.
Yeah.
Because they're sort of kind of important, like knowing which ones have the good sigs, I think.
Yeah. It's like half the reason sometimes you'll take a lore is just because you can go to the backup.
You can guarantee which one you got,
Yeah. You got something decent.
Yeah,
Flying carpet.
The only limitation with being level 1 is if you come up against a level 4, you're not going to get the spell off very much. But,
totally. Yeah. And what I said before, you can't get Viletide probably because sure the laws of magic are only the SIGs that are on the actual army book ones, wouldn't it be?
Yeah, because you need it. You need that in your description.
Yes,
like in your special rules description.
Yeah, like the wild one is the Gork one.
Yep.
Yes, you can't actually do that.
Yeah, of course. So you need the.
I was just getting excited.
Signature spell of your lore, but that'd be
it.
Yeah.
Army list lore. Yeah, fair enough.
Flying carpet. I want to see this modelled a lot because this is fantastic. 40 points. So regular infantry or heavy infantry only. The bearer of the flying carpet gains fly 8 and swift stride. It's really good that they get swift stride as well.
I know, because the Tomb King one doesn't with his one, I don't think. At least
I don't get it in the amp one either. But the bearer can't join a unit. But I think this is very situational for builds, but really adds a bit of spice to the mix.
Yep.
Yeah, good. Healing potion for 35 points. So it's got another good little subtitle. Purveyors of magic potions make many bold claims. Sometimes they are true, sometimes not. So ridiculous. This is a single use during the command subphase of the turn. You can use the healing potion and you immediately recover D3 lost wounds.
So I
seems
originally
pretty
thought
reliable.
this was, and it's common. Yeah, it's common as well. I thought you might see this a lot more, like because of dragons, and you want to actually like if you can make these things heal, then they're even worse. But the 35 points stops you a lot of the time because I think you find you just can't fit it in.
Yeah. Dragons have so many wounds anyway. No need. But yeah, 35 points is a pretty significant chunk.
Yeah, it's just a big chunk when you're trying to, when you're already paying for your other stuff. But no, I'm surprised it's never used to see it that much. But I guess that's the thing. It's always pricey. I can't remember. They used to. Was it always a D3? Because they had healing potions in 8th, didn't they, and stuff? Just can't remember what it used to do.
I can't remember.
Anyway, Ruby Ring of Ruin. You'll see this one. 30 points. Basically, you get the fireball as a bound level 2. I think everyone pretty much agrees that magic missiles are good, and especially if some of your laws don't have them, it's always a good idea to have. So I think you see a lot of builds with fairly mobile wizards or something, or potentially the ability to like I think it's necromancy spell. Oh no, it's not. It's a Tomb King one. Neokara one where you get reserve move, where you can sort of bubble reserve move and maybe like get your wizard out, do a fireball and then go back, like do those type of little things, which would be kind of interesting. But yeah, I think you'll see that one a lot.
Yeah.
The healing potion in 8th was 35 points as well, and it was the same except you get D6 wounds.
Oh God, yeah. You never really saw
it
much.
8th was a different. 8th was a very different game. You didn't have 10 wound dragons running around.
Yeah.
So D6 wounds is
D6 is pretty hectic though. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Potion of Strength, 25 points. Common again. I'll just take a leaf out of Josh's book and talk about a little blurb because this one is funny as hell. So, a concoction of strength-giving vegetables and roots mixed together with a touch of magic.
A touch of magic.
I would love to put spinach in there or some sort of, Popeye sort of reference.
Yeah. Hilarious. That would have been good.
That would have been good. But yeah, single use. During the command subphase of the turn, the bearer of the Potion of Strength can consume it. Until the end of that turn, the model has D3 modifiers to its strength to a maximum of 10. So when you have a reroll to hit dragon and you need a bit of a buff to your strength for that reroll, this is where your Potion of Strength might come in handy. But yeah, very situational. Again, 25 points. So.
Yeah. Then you got Potion of Toughness, which is 20 points. It's common as well. Distilled by magical means, this potion is sure to make the drinker all but invulnerable. So yeah, command sub phase, swig it down, you get D3 modified to your toughness. I guess because that's what I would have done wrong in our game, Andrew. Not that I don't think it made a difference, but
it was invulnerable without it.
You're really only using this if you're charging, hey? Because you can't even like swig this because it's only your turn until the end of that turn.
Yeah.
So, like if I had swigged it on my turn, you charged on yours. I don't even have it anyway. So it's definitely more of an offensive thing, where you're going in knowing you need your toughness. So probably not as useful.
Yeah.
Potion of Speed. I think you could use this, because this one, it's only 10 points. A powerful potion with a terrible aftertaste that sharpens the wits and speeds the reactions. It gives you D3 initiative, which, doesn't seem like that great, but, as you found in your other game, if you're charging into someone and, and they happen to strike first, you can just get popped. And this is the type of potion that your opponent could easily even forget that you even have, not that you do it on purpose,
You'll
right?
probably
But
forget
they would
it as well, but yeah.
Yeah, and then suddenly you go, oh, I'm just going to get D3 extra initiative, and now I'm striking first. And you're like, oh, crap. It's out of nowhere. So for 10 points, maybe you could.
I think you'll see. I
see
think
it as a surprise.
Fair bit. Especially if you're not playing elves or vamps or whatever, where you think, okay, if I do come up against that type of thing, it'll just bump me over. Especially for 10 points. So
yeah, for sure. Can you read the flavor text for this last one because I think it's the best one.
The Potion of Foolhardiness. Coming in, another common, 5 points. Why wouldn't you get it just for the name? So it's a magical brew that fills the drinker with courage. It may actually just be strong liquor.
That's so ridiculous.
That is very true. So it's a single use. So again, during the command subphase, the bearer of the Potion of Foolhardiness can consume it until the end of the turn. That model gains immune to psychology. Yeah. Look, I don't know. If you got a problem with psychology for 5 points, you think you might need to use it against a terror model, like something along those lines. Yeah, it's situational. Very situational.
Yeah,
but it's only 5
very
points.
Situational. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially because it's only during your turn that you can drink it.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
So if you get charged by it.
Yeah, but if you were going to charge if your Goblin Chariot was going to charge a terror causing model, you might want.
Well, it says until the end of that turn. Does that mean the end of your the same turn, or
just
the end
because
of your
it
opponent's
said,
turn?
I mean, I read it.
Or the start of your next turn.
Because you know how it said.
Yeah.
Where does it say? I have to go back up. They all say the same thing. During the command subphase of their turn, the bearer does this until the end of that turn, which I would have thought that meant the subphase of their turn. Whereas the actual 2 turns are a round, not a turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree.
So,
yeah. I agree.
Arcane items, is it me then?
Yes.
So onto the wizard stuff. Yeah, feedback scroll, 60 points. Single use, bearer may use this scroll instead of making a wizardry dispel. The spell is cast, but once it's resolved, roll 2d6 for each roll of a 4-up. The casting wizard loses a single wound. I haven't read this much. That's I don't know. I don't mind that. It's interesting.
It's pretty expensive.
It is very expensive, yeah.
25% of the time, you'll cause 2 wounds on the wizard, which is pretty.
Yeah, I mean, against
decent.
wizards, elf, like ones with just 3 wounds and stuff, or 2 wounds. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is a lot, but I mean, they're arcane items, so your wizard has to hold this, and which means it has to be Wizard Lord as well. But I don't know, maybe.
So I'm guessing this is what gets a little bit frustrating is there's no mention of wards, so I'm assuming you just don't get anything.
Yeah, I think you just take
when you lose a single wound, it goes. Yeah, I think
you just go.
I mean, again, it needs to be FAQ'd, but I think if you suffer a wound, you get your saves. But if you lose a wound, it's gone.
If you lose, right.
Yeah. This next one is similar in that it's a very expensive counter. So Scroll of Transmogrification for 50 points. Oh, this one's extremely common, interestingly. I guess it's because it's a scroll. Feedback scroll isn't. That's interesting. Single use. The bearer may use a scroll instead of making it dispel. The spell is cast, and then once the spell has been resolved, they must roll. The casting player must roll equal to or lower than the casting wizard's level on a single die. Should they fail, the wizard has to draw frog. So wait, see. You've got to roll equal. Oh, so it's easier to pass it if you're a high level wizard. So while transmogrified, the wizard cannot cast or dispel any spells, cannot use any of their equipment, which is all their characteristics, excluding wounds to 1. And then you keep rolling a dice at the start of each side turn subphase. Is that both players? I think.
Yeah, both players.
Yeah. And a roll of 4-up. The wizard returns to normal. But retains a love of water.
It's it's just a funny one. But the funny thing is, if the meta changes where people go bugger wizards and we're just going like lots of level 1s and 2s, then you go, well, okay, maybe you take a couple of these, We'll take one of these because they're turn one of them. But again, if they're level 1 and 2s, maybe they're not that useful. So who cares?
Well, yeah, I don't see it's not a good counter to a level 4 because most of the time they're going to pass it.
Yeah, and it's almost like the excluding wounds. It would have been funny if their wound one goes down to 1 as well if they hadn't at least if they have one, just for while they're a frog, so then you can go in and wipe them out. I mean, they've got no toughness or weapon skill anyway, but yeah.
How's it going to work when they're on a mount? It just seems...
Does it say model? It does, doesn't it?
The wizard cannot and reduce all their characteristics, including wounds. Excluding
I mean,
the wizard
50
turns
points
into a frog.
for a third of the time.
Good question.
You know, their wizard lord, even on a dragon, turns into a frog. It's pretty interesting. Like it's...
Yeah, because what? Does the dragon's toughness...
Yeah, everything.
Because some of them are like plus 3.
And you lose
it's not
all your
like
equipment
6.
and stuff.
It's in the FAQ.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Oh, is it? What does it say?
The wizard is transmogrified, but not their mount. In the example given, you would be left with a frog riding a dragon.
Yeah, so then you would add you'd end up with toughness 7 or whatever still what it is. No, +1. It would be toughness 2.
Because some of the dragons, aren't they like, or some of the mounts are like plus.
Like 2 or 3, maybe?
Yeah, it doesn't tell you 6. So I'm pretty sure. I don't know if that's across the board.
And the Tomb King one just adds +1, but that's because the dude already has toughness 5, and then the dragon adds +1. So he'd be a toughness 2 dragon.
Yeah. That's what I'm sort of...
I mean, it's still an interesting I mean, not that, again, they have to be wizards, so... yeah,
because the zombie
high
dragons
elves and stuff, toughness. Yeah, like in your guy's a wizard. Yeah, no, it's, I mean, 50 points, you start thinking, well, I could throw that on if I've got a couple of level 1s running around, I can spend 50 points on this one, and you can just have it there just in case. It would be so fun. And in a tournament, you start going, well, in one tournament, surely one of their lords are going to roll 5 or 6.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So you might turn at least 1 or 2 guys into a frog in a 5-game tournament. But then you got to actually counter that and kill it, you know.
Oh, and they're still... Yeah, and they're still maintaining control of the movement. It's not like it becomes a frog and then it randomly moves d6 inches in a scatter dice direction, you know, every turn after that. Like,
it's gonna be
which is what happened, I think, because didn't the green skin miscast table when they turned into a squig, it would move randomly as well back in 6. That was pretty punishing.
So this one though, like they cast a spell, so it's their turn, then you turn them into a frog, but before you can really do anything about it, they also get a chance to turn him back in your start of turn.
A 50-50 chance, yeah.
So like it does become quite...
Oh, man, that really is a big limit. It's not like if they roll a 6, you have to roll a 4 up. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If that... Yeah, that's a bit...
That does actually make it pretty much useless. Read that last sentence again.
Yeah, now I'm lost. I don't know whose turn it is now.
Wand of Jet, it was me. So 45 points. The bearer of the Wand of Jet may apply a +1 modifier to any of their casting dispel rolls. However, should they roll any double when making a casting or dispel roll, the Wand of Jet is destroyed and cannot be used again. So it's not too bad if it wasn't 45 points, because I think a double is going to be semi-common. I don't know what the percentage of rolling a double is on 2 dice, but I'd want at least...
Well, the double 1's always going to be a miscast, and then the double 6, it'll blow up anyway. Yeah, it'll disappear, I guess. But yeah, you're right. I don't know what 6 out of 36, whatever it is. Is it? No. It's 12.
No, it'll be quite a few.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was guessing 20%.
Yeah.
I got a B in maths, so...
Oh, it'll be... Yeah, there's only 6 doubles, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
So it'll be...
So it's 1 in 6.
16
chance.
16%?
16%. Yeah, it's 1 in 6.
Yeah. But if you got 3 or 4, like it's a level, you know, you're only going to be putting this on a higher level model, like a wizard level. So you might be casting 3 times a turn.
Yeah, you'd probably lose it within the first couple of turns.
But it might be
worth it. Yeah.
Or do you use it more judiciously? Do you just because it says you may apply it?
Have to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. True. 45 points is a big ask for it. If it was like if it broke on a miscast or something, I feel like that'd actually be quite 100%. Good.
Yeah,
but it's a big limitation.
Lore Familiar.
Oh, that's your turn.
Might be me. Yeah, Lore Familiar, 30 points. The owner of the Lore Familiar does not generate spells randomly. They basically choose the spell they know from their chosen lore, including the lore's sig spell. This is like almost auto-include, especially for... It's auto-include for some of these builds, where you want the Spectral Doppelganger, for example.
Yeah.
It's just, It
makes it pretty easy, doesn't it, to build around a specific spell.
Yeah, 100%.
30 points really isn't that bad.
No, it's good.
Power Scroll, another extremely common one for 20 points. Single use, so you use it when you're trying to cast a spell, and if they do so, you roll an extra d6 when making the casting roll and discard the lowest result. However, if you roll a double one, any of the 3 dice you've used, the spell is miscast. I don't know. I haven't seen this used very much. Just like the old Power Stone, really.
I just don't know if there's, you could argue spells like it doesn't feel like unless you're really going for a particular spell that you just need to get off that it's that useful. I don't know. Because they're not actually that hard to get off if you're level 4. You know what I mean? You usually have to roll 5 or something on a dice.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, it's more about if you're trying to get it off and you've got a level 4 Dispeller in range, that's probably the moment that you'd be forced to use it, I feel.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, actually. Yeah, good point.
So I'll keep going. The Dispel Scroll. I think they shouldn't have named this quite the Dispel Scroll because you're not guaranteed to get a Dispel. 20 points. Pretty pricey for what it does. So it's a single use. A wizard may use this scroll when attempting a wizardly dispel. So obviously you're going to be declaring it beforehand. Anyway, if they do so, roll an extra d6 when making the dispel roll. Discard the lowest result. However, if a double 1 is rolled of any of the 2 spells, any of the 2 dice rolled, the wizard is outclassed in the art.
So it's like
that's double 1 out of the 3. Yeah, I don't know. For 20 points,
I haven't seen many people taking Dispel Scrolls, to be honest. So.
I'm not a big fan. Yeah.
And you got to be doing a wizardry dispel, so you can't even. Yeah. He's doing it in range. Yeah.
Yeah. Huge amount of limitations on it.
There is.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was off a Phasian Dispel, I feel like it would give it a niche that would actually make it quite useful.
Yeah. Cool. Arcane for me is 15 points. Basically, you get an extra lore to generate from. Those spells from 2 laws of magic rather than usual 1. When determining the spells the wizard knows, you must roll for each law separately. Duplicate spells rolled as normal. The wizard may discard 1 randomly generated spell as normal, replacing it with the signature of that same law. So I'm assuming they've got to be the laws that you can actually access. Is that right? Because it doesn't say any. And you can only still take 1 signature. So I guess it's random. I don't know. I don't know if you see this that much, unless you just really were in love with 2 laws. But I don't think.
Yeah.
No.
You're doing less rolls on that. And I guess, is there some laws where you really want, you'd rather use this law, but you want the signature from the other law? Then I think you might use it. 15 points.
Yeah. I haven't seen great signatures out there either.
Yeah. I mean, you can't take it with the law familiar. That's the other thing. They exclude each other.
Yeah. Yes.
So that's part of the problem. I feel like it's competing with that other item, isn't it?
Yeah. And then Earth. One left. Josh.
Yeah, Earthing Rod. Is it my turn? Yeah, Earthing Rod, 5 points. Single use. Should they miscast a spell, the wizard can use the Earthing Rod to re-roll the result rolled on the miscast table.
That's I was just thinking this. Maybe that is useful for 5 points because
5 points.
You know how you know how there's some of those like it's not so dangerous anymore, and what is it? A 7 or 8 above, the spell still goes off. Then you know what I mean? Whatever it was, I can't remember which ones it does.
It is. Yeah, no, for 5 points, it's very worthwhile. But the reason I don't think it's going to be seen very much is because it takes up your arcane item slot.
Yes, no, you're right.
Arcane. Yeah, so that's a major problem. Yeah.
Now, could you have this on a level 1, or it's only on that wizard that miscast? Should they miscast? No, should they miscast the spell?
Yeah.
So it has to be on the wizard that's casting it. Yeah, okay. Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the opportunity cost of taking it is a
I think you're right. No, again, the miscast table's not as deadly as it was anyway. So you're like, oh well.
Nah, it's not.
Probably not. Worst case, you just can't cast spells. You might get a wound, but you can't cast that turn. That's better. He's like, oh well.
Yeah.
Cool. So
we're not seeing that many miscasts anyway. Like it's like what, a 1 in 36 chance. So even casting 4 turns four times a turn.
Yeah.
You might see one miscast every game and a half or so, I feel.
Yeah. I've only done it once and I've played 3.
Did you say you miscast in your first turn?
Yeah, I think so. Or first turn, I think it was.
Yeah, it was
first
pretty
or
early
second.
On.
Well, just quickly, because we'll probably wrap it up in a minute. Was there any that just stood out? I mean, we probably talked about them, but like I felt, you're seeing those. This bedazzling helm was definitely one.
Yeah, that's probably the only one that I've seen a fair bit of in the list. Yeah.
The 5-up
ward.
There's
these other niche ones. Yeah, the 5-up ward one.
Which one? Are you talking about the?
Oh, that's the talisman. Sorry,
the talisman.
Oh, sorry. Yes, sorry. That's this one. Yeah. The 5-up. This one protection.
The talisman.
We might see these other little ones.
the coin.
Yeah,
Paymaster's
you
coin.
might see the coin occasionally.
Yeah.
Have we seen
Potentially the Razor Standard how it works, but I'm not sure. You definitely probably see this rampaging banner, the reroll, and the war banner.
Oh, yeah, the good old war banner. Yeah. The ruby ring.
Enchanted ruby ring for sure.
For sure.
Potentially the potion of speed for 10 points. Probably
Yeah, for 10 points.
Maybe
in fact, you can just take it.
I reckon you might have the strength in there as well. Like, depending on builds.
Not as good anymore now that it doesn't give AP.
If you had that, then it'd be no-brainer. And then I'll definitely, I think you'll obviously see the lore familiar. I have seen people take the arcane. Well, have I? No, I'm probably getting confused. I think there's another familiar. Maybe it's in the chaos one or something slightly different.
That's
about it really in this one. Hopefully we'll see more scrolls of transmogrification, but we probably won't. I want to see some frogs, damn it. But yeah.
That would have been great.
Cool. Oh, we got through the big blue book's magic items.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, the spell familiar is in the Warriors of Chaos one, it gives you an extra spell for 15 points, and it's interestingly that's an extremely common one. So you can actually combine that spell familiar with a lore familiar.
Yeah, right.
See that? Geez, Chaos get everything good, don't they? Start a Chaos army.
I say 15 points to choose an extra spell on top of your regular spells. Actually,
it is
pretty damn good. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, well, I think we got through another episode, did we?
Yeah, I think that's about it, isn't it? Do we have anything else to cover?
Nah, just the preview for the bat rep coming up.
Yeah, you guys haven't talked about that yet.
Tomorrow-ish. Depends on
you mean like for the replay from last week?
Yeah, the replay.
Yeah, we'll do that one tomorrow. We'll get that one out as well, so you see our game we played. And then obviously me and Andrew will try to get another game in the next week or whatever with this, the Tomb Kings versus Dwarves. I think we're going to try to maybe the Dwarf book review as well. Sounded like we might. Maybe it's easy to do that one because you know it fairly well. You've been going through it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It should be all right. Just So good.
And then I don't know if you got always open to new topics, guys. So if you want to hit us up with comments as well, what you'd like to see, because I've already thought about stuff like going through monster, what's it called, Lion Hammer, or the signature spells, and just start, or maybe even just start reviewing. I don't know, other phases in detail or not. I mean, there's heaps of topics to cover. Yeah. Obviously, we'll do more sort of themed ones on our YouTube channel, but the podcast, we sort of just cover stuff a little bit lighter and, a little bit off the cuff, I guess, on the podcast. Cool. Have you got anything else to add, guys? Otherwise, I can wrap it up if you want.
No, that's it.
No.
Another week. Oh, I should say it's 30th episode too, which is it's getting up there. So it's a nice round number. Yeah,
it is.
It's all good. Nice. So thanks for that. Yeah, well, and obviously it's only possible for the listeners. So thanks for that. I think we hit 15,000 downloads of the actual podcast. That's I don't know what it is on YouTube. It's more. Wow. But we only hit 10,000 not that long ago, and it's already gone to that. So
it's crazy.
So we really appreciate that. Obviously, if you are enjoying these weekly ramblings, we'd love a 5-star review on your podcast software of choice. But if you're watching this on YouTube, do the normal subscribe, click that bell button, so you not only get notified of the podcast, but just Andrew just said, all our other videos that we're bringing out. And again, feel free to join our Patreon if you want. Reach out to us on all the socials, Old World Fanatics, you'll find us. But until next time, thanks for listening to another episode of the Old World Fanatics. Cheers, guys. Catch you next week.
Cheers. See you later.
Ciao.
See you guys.